Unless that.
Well, hello there, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. Today is February 14th, 2024. You thought I was gone, but I came back just to say hello on this special day. I love and I miss all the beautiful women that we used to dance with at the R Bar nightclub. My God, if only we can bring those days back. We might have to.
Come on, Shane.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Here we go.
Chicago's trading up. 100.
Yes!
What?
Oh my
Here
God.
it is!
Or just recorded.
The tape never lies.
The people drop off, but we still keep rocking.
You'll never know how good your football team's going to be until you play with maximum effort.
Keeping it 100.
Open competition over the North and never give it back.
Smartest man.
My Chicago Bears select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man and Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east to west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the freaking anchor, forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shane's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shane got some haters. But now they're all stuck like the Jew and now and later. Debaters, frauds get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks trolling like a fool, drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shane. What we do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the unchairs. The tape never lies, the truth, you see. We laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a sad nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like Trick Sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man and Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Justin Fields gets outside the pocket, puts that ball perfectly where only Mooney can get it. 1 point, 2 feet.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
First never lies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, happy Valentine's Day, TTNL family. We are back. It is Wednesday. Y'all know what it is. Today is a day of love, but I know my guys in the green room are not feeling the love now on that QB situation. So let me go ahead and bring them in so we can get this conversation started. We'll start with Shane, the smartest man, Marshall.
Hey, I'm feeling the love, Cherie.
I hope you feel the love for me.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
All in that.
I have a taco for you.
Thank you. DDP, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. I had a quick dinner with my Valentine, Steph,
Aww.
and the boys. She was with all her boys. And she's breaking my balls. Yeah, but now you got to go do the show.
That's right, Steph.
Happy Valentine's Day, Steph.
Yes.
And Dev and Tate.
Thank you, Cherie.
And Riley and Emmy.
Yep.
And whoever the fuck Jackal's kids are now, he's got like 12.
That's a long
12 kids
list to go through. I can't. I'm sorry, Jack. But happy Valentine's Day to the boys. That's all.
They're all redheads.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Jackal, happy Valentine's Day to you and your beautiful wife.
I hit enter before I put that on there, so you're not nasty anymore, you know?
Charlie, all C's.
I
was like it's fucking college grade.
So
hey, when it takes you 7 years to get through school and you don't end up with a doctorate, but you do end up with a degree, you know, hey.
So that's depending on how you read that nice message that Jackal wrote. He could be.
He's yelling at his kid.
That's Conrad, Charlie Cannon, you asshats.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. So, you know,
that's
boys. That'll do it to you.
That's a talk text.
Yeah.
Pick them up.
Man.
Happy Valentine's Day, Sherry and the boys.
Thank you.
All of us. Everybody in the chat room. As we get this show and the tape started.
Yeah, we are in the
100 already. People are ready.
Oh man.
I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime.
It is volatile.
Beyond volatile. I'm losing friends because they were Justin apologists and they don't want to hear the truth. Like, it is what it is. I'm just going to tell you the truth. There's no gray area. There's no debate with me. Because I can honestly say, without a doubt, I've watched more tape than everybody on Justin. And without a biased brush. And the fact of the matter is, last week's show with Brian Perez, who was awesome, by the way.
He was fantastic.
But Shane had all of the mic drop moments. I'm sure he'll have some more tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. It's like I came prepared.
Like, Shane, myself, and my father did 2.5 hours. I don't know if Cherie, you got to see it yet, on Caleb Williams Jr. tape. We skipped over the Heisman year.
Smart.
And we just looked at last year because there's a narrative there. And we've destroyed every narrative. And the people that I really respect as analysts, like people that watch tape, and trust me, I've been around people that watch the same thing I'm watching and they don't see it. And I just look at it like, how could you not see it? Like, what don't you see? And it just becomes one of those things where you're just going to have to agree to disagree and move on because.
Exactly. And that goes for both sides because I know that we can get caught up in it, but the people that are pro Justin want to build around Justin and you know, they're quick to point out anything negative against Caleb Williams.
I'm on the other side. Like, I was just scolding Jackal.
You weren't scolding me. We were talking about it. There's no scolding.
We're talking about it. There's no gray area for me. I'm just letting you all know. Yeah. It's a mistake to move on with Justin Fields for several reasons. The cherry on top is the cap, the 5th-year option with the promise to pay somebody who's been inconsistent. And we're just not being truthful there as fans. And it doesn't ring true. I'm sorry. I'll bring all open invitation to come on and just debate with me if you want. Because anybody saying anything bad about Caleb Williams on tape is a bold-faced liar. Shane, we're looking at my father. Some of you weren't able to see it. My father was like, listen, I don't get to see Caleb Williams because I'm 83 years old and they play at 11:30, 12 at midnight. I'm falling asleep. So
I'm half your dad's age and I fall asleep watching USC games.
I'm right there with you, Shane.
It was a great moment because he was just being transparent. He was excited because I was like, Dad, I'm not going to send you this. I want you to watch it because I've already told my father, I go, this is the best quarterback I've ever scouted. He's the best I've ever scouted. Mahomes. I was huge Deshaun Watson fan. In fact, when the Bears were trading up, I thought it was going to be Watson, and I was in my glory for.
I think everybody did at that point, honestly. I mean, live that night, and then they came out and said that it was for the defensive tackle that San Francisco drafted. the kid from Stanford.
Shane,
And I'm like, oh my, I lost my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Like we just traded up for a defensive tackle. Good Lord.
Then it was the one guy that I didn't want them to take. So I've lived that. Okay. Now, Justin Fields, fast forward that night. I've never hid. My rankings are there on our Patreon. It's all there in the history. You know, where I had Justin Fields behind Mac Jones. I've never hid that. If I was to draft again, I would have taken Mac Jones over Justin Fields. If you look at the thing without any kind of bias, you could see why. But the fact of the matter remains, here we are going into year 4, and forget the statistics, because that cars will destroy every person with statistics. I am going to show the tape. I've watched Justin Fields get progressively worse. And when he had an opportunity to put all of the naysayers and put me into a place where I can't wait to watch the tape and see you step up in the biggest game of your life, knowing that Caleb Williams' name is out there, knowing what they were saying about Tyson Bagent, knowing that you'd never had beaten the Green Bay Packers, and you go out there and you piss down your legs.
Well, Phil,
and Justin didn't do it. Shane, you and I have talked about, I'm not the great. I don't believe in any of the stats. The stats are backing up the tape. There's a point. Clip this, Ivan. There's a point, Shane. I'm sorry.
All right.
That the stats, when all of the games are done and the tape is there, the stats can match up with the tape. Then there's manipulation of stats like PFF likes to do, which a lot of fans are throwing at me, and I've destroyed that if you're a patron. If you're not a patron, you're still sitting there uneducated to the truth. And if you want to sit there and throw, well, they both have the longest time to throw. Well, it took me 15, maybe 10 minutes to show everybody the other day. Well, this is why it takes Caleb that he's creating extra time. He's not being protected, and he's got I can't make a decision. He's creating this extra time with his ability to manipulate and move in the pocket like a young Dan Marino did. Like there's so many things on tape that is just outstanding. It's just anybody that's saying negative stuff, and believe me, you could put it out there, but the guys that have no horse, Daniel Jeremiah, I respect this dude. I respect it. He's out there saying.
But that's the thing, Phil. Just when you bring up his name, is everybody thinks that they're batting 1,000 or that Daniel Jeremiah is batting 1,000. And if you bat 250 in the draft game,
you're doing it right.
You're doing it. You're doing better than most. Let's just say that, because there's so much more to get into it. It goes beyond. It goes beyond the football field. It goes off the field. You don't know how these guys are going to react when you give them millions of dollars guaranteed. When they look in their bank account on day one after they sign their deal and see all those zeros, and all it had was zeros completely before growing up for them, it's an instant change. People become different. You don't know how they're going to react to that. And this is what I'm saying. This is the give and take to all of this. Phil, you and I talked earlier today about this, and everybody knows the camp that I'm in, and I'm pro drafting Caleb Williams at number 1. And if you want to move around at 9, depending on who is there. And what did Brian Perez say? People are saying, get the haul. Well, to me, Brian's right. Caleb is the haul. You've been gifted with this. The problem is somebody that's all in on Justin Fields, and that's fine. If that's your opinion, fine. I don't agree with it. But when I ask you, what are the negatives of Justin Fields? Nobody gives me any. It's the coaches suck. he needs more talent. But then they'll give you a list of 35 things that other people said about Caleb Williams. Oh, did you see this kid? He painted his nails. Did you see this guy when he was in GQ, some of the outfits that he had on?
How about the football field?
When Justin Fields was wearing the flowered blouse on game day, are you posting that? I don't give a shit what any of these guys wear. It's who gives a shit? Go out there and produce on the football field
on Sundays.
If that is your negative, then you're just being there. She is.
There's my Valentine.
Miss Atoshin.
You found the glove.
I just wanted to tell you.
You found the glove. Now take this dog, because she'll be.
I shot.
It's giving out directives. This guy.
Happy fucking Valentine's Day.
I've had these gloves for 12 years. These
like boxing gloves. She wants you to put them.
Police gloves that just fit into your pockets. Since we started dating, I've had them, and I never have lost them. I always put them in my Bears jacket. And the other day with this snow, I lost one of the gloves. I couldn't find it anywhere. It's driving me crazy.
And where was it?
She just found it, so she wanted to share. It's a
like
gift.
But
but you're right.
Yeah, it's you cannot have any type of a debate, and it's this and I know we're gonna get into this, but
I saw this Ben Kirk. Yeah, I destroyed this too. Like somebody else said this.
I'm trying to get Kirk on the show. I reached out after seeing this shit.
Was Oregon not a good defense? Was Arizona not good? Washington not good? These are teams he played in the Pac-12. This is manipulation of stupidity. It's not. Receivers are wide open. He's doing it by himself. In fact, we're seeing the one read offense. That's another manipulation of bullshit. This is a pro NFL offense that he's playing.
If you're a TTNL Network patron, the one read offense, we put that to rest.
100%.
All of our patrons.
My father's
on
been
chapter 1 and chapter 2.
On chapter 1 and 2, we put that bullet. So somebody saying that, they never play or coached, especially coached, because they don't know offense. USC is not running a one-read offense. We put it to bed. And you think I'm going to stand here and tolerate that? This isn't attacking Bears content creators. I'm attacking manipulation of truth. Just like these fraud boys on Facebook pages being nasty and rude. And then I did nothing wrong. Why did they remove me? Because you just lied. When did Phil Atoshin say, oh, Caleb Williams is going to the Hall of Fame? Yeah, he said he's going to the Hall of Fame. You just lied. I don't have time for that.
Right, because that sells
so much
that sells the narrative that they're trying to push.
Exactly. Phil is he's a fanboy of Caleb. I am a fucking
what's the Bears to win, bro?
Here. I am embracing being one of the first people to put the truth on tape out there. And some of my friends that I've built friendships with are so embedded in their relationship with Justin Fields that they throw away friendships. That's crazy to me. That's crazy because I'm just doing what I always do. I'm not going to change for you. I'm not. There's no gray area. I will tell you. You show me your 2-hour tape of Justin Fields because I can do it. Show even 40 minutes. Show me 40 minutes of Justin Fields last year improving. Give it to me. It's not there. And any patron knows it. Any patron knows it. Put your face on video. Don't hide behind your little fucking AVI tic tac with your voice. You want to come on here and debate? Let's fucking get it down. Because all my goal is for the Chicago Bears to finally win a Super Bowl in my lifetime. They're going to take Caleb Williams. because he's a better quarterback now. Right now, walking into Hallis Hall, he's a better distributor of the football. He's got better footwork, throwing mechanics, quick release than Justin Fields does going into year 4. And that's why Phil, Shane, Cars, JT O'Sullivan, Big Steve Edwards, Chris, all these guys are watching because they don't have the patience for bullshit. You think who had that great, I think it was Potash. There's no loyalty to Fields. It's a business. They're going to forget about Justin as he gets traded.
Winning is the cure-all, Phil. You start winning, everybody gets paid, and everybody's happy. But that's the thing when they're talking, oh, look, DJ's defending his guy. And listen, DJ should defend his guy. That's fine.
Kevin Warren's coming out here.
You know what? Justin Fields really sucked. Phil's right. Yeah. He didn't improve. He didn't beat Green Bay. You know, Jordan Love. Look at Jordan Love. Let's talk about weapons, Chris Jackal.
But so Phil,
DJ Moore, Darnell Wright, Nate Davis, Tunyon, Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, Khalil Herbert, Deonta Foreman. We signed players to win.
Right.
You signed these fucking all. No, all of it was defense. Yeah, that makes sell across the fucking pond. It don't sell here because it's bullshit. You signed these players. You drafted a first round tackle.
Doug, Merrill Hodge did say different. Merrill Hodge also said that Patrick Mahomes is a second rounder. Mm-hmm. And go look up Merrill Hodge's quarterback rankings from the past 10 years and then get back to me and see if you're still trying to promote what he says. It's fine. Here's the thing. Daniel Jeremiah went back at Merrill Hodge. Merrill Hodge said he watched 3 games last year, 3 games this year of Caleb Williams. But
here we go.
He hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen enough. You got it?
I agree with him on this one. I just don't. And the pushback I would have is, man, if 39 games is not enough to evaluate Justin Fields, but 3 games this year are enough to evaluate and make solid statements on Caleb Williams, that doesn't make sense to me. So
I agree. As a football guy, I agree.
I've seen everything that he did this year. He is, to me, in my opinion,
too, Daniel. We're together.
Thing to Patrick Mahomes we've seen. He's got
we've said this many times.
Arm talent. I mean, I'm talking.
Arm talent.
Different angles.
Right, but Phil, pause it right there, just so we can reinforce this. When
Unbelievable
you say that he is the closest thing to Patrick Mahomes, that has nothing to do with the Kansas City Chiefs team success.
Yes, exactly.
Career arc.
People get confused.
It's on tape, the way that he throws, the plays that he makes, that is when it can be the comp. You're just looking to spout negativity if you're saying that, you're saying he's going to be the next Patrick Mahomes. No, that's lazy. And let me put the Kevin Warren interview.
You want to talk about that? Yeah.
Jarrett Payton to sleep right now. Let me nuke it for everyone. Here's a mic drop. Let's just end it right now. Everybody that was excited about that, here, let me end it for you. Because you're saying Kevin Warren has more power than Ryan Poles does. True story. Who's got more power than Kevin Warren does? The owner, George McCaskey. Let me give you a quote when he's talking about the levels and who's making what decision. Here is the direct quote from the owner of the Chicago Bears. And let me read it to you verbatim. Ryan Poles remains in charge of our football operation with complete authority to do what he thinks is best from the Bears. Owner George McCaskey said Tuesday when the team announced Kevin Warren's hiring. Good night. Good night. It comes down to Ryan Poles. Kevin Warren will have his input, and if Ryan Poles said, that's my guy, that's where they're going. It's not going to come down to a Jarrett Payton interview. And let's play this game. Brad Biggs comes out 2 days ago and says Justin Fields' days in Chicago, the Fields thing is over. The Bears are drafting a quarterback at number 1. The next day, a Kevin Warren interview comes out, and it's defending Justin. So then everybody's up in arms about, so Justin's staying. Ian Rappaport on with Waddle and Sylvie, giving you blow by blow of what the Bears' expectations are of what they would expect a historic return if they were to move, and premium plus picks for Justin Fields if and when they trade him. Listen to what your owner just said. This isn't a Kevin Warren decision. Input, yes. The interview yesterday means nothing. Nothing. Right there in black and white from the owner of your football team.
It is simply put, and I'll do one better, because you have to think about this from a business standpoint. And that's always hard for me because I'm always just black and white. I wish that the owner would come out. Listen, we're trading Justin and we're drafting Caleb Williams right now and put this to bed. I wish that's not how they do it. So you have to play a poker game. If you think the president is going to come out here and bash Justin Fields when you're attempting to drum up as much ammunition that you're going to get for this football player as you move on from him, you're fooling yourself. So to run around like you just won a gold medal and see, it's there, he's staying. And a lot of these frauds are doing that. Now, I can't always blame the fans because you watch it, you love the game, you watch it, whatever. You're not watching all 22. You're not watching the tape. You've never been in this situation. He's completely doing what the Count of Tuscany is talking about. He's letting everyone around the league know the worth of Justin. Now, never once have I ever said out of my mouth that I want Justin to fail.
I wanted to come give you cash for it, and you're like, well, this breaks down every 3 days.
Yeah. You're not going to do that.
It's horrible.
Well, some people might.
Get 6 miles to the gallon.
Yeah, but in this game, you're
Fumes
not
in the back seat, knock my kids unconscious. It's fine.
When the Green Bay Packers come out and say, listen, you keep Justin in the pocket, you beat him. What is the difference? Daniel Jeremiah says, hey, this kid's arm talent is extraordinary. That was never stated about Justin Fields. It never was in my scouting report. I was always concerned about the windup, the tap, and the accuracy.
We did an entire show about it.
I go, that's my biggest worry about this kid. Mac Jones did not have that. That's why I put him above and the anticipation balls in the middle of the field. Everybody builds off of where they land. So if you're a Justin Fields apologist, there is merit to you saying, well, the Chicago Bears didn't do great by him. They didn't. They should have fired Nagy and hired another coach and GM, or at least fired the coach and hired a new one so he could be involved with the selection of that quarterback. But they didn't do that. And they're not going to do it again here. So they clearly don't learn from their mistakes. But that isn't going to deter me from taking the best quarterback that I've scouted ever. That shouldn't whatsoever to you. Now, Justin, you're selling me a can of dice as well. Well, Justin can if you surround him with, and I just listed the offensive weaponry that they signed. That doesn't even include Rashawn Johnson in the draft. It doesn't include these players.
Are you saying those guys are they're stars that you would?
They called him a pillar piece to this thing. He had starts. He had carries.
Rashawn Johnson?
Yeah, Rashawn Johnson.
Yeah,
DJ Moore, best offensive receiver we've ever had. Does that not help your quarterback?
Oh, he's a great. Yeah.
He didn't do anything for the off.
Absolutely.
You signed the guy. We called it a month and a half before the draft. Our network, my father, Shane, me, Cars, Darnell Wright should be the pick for the Chicago Bears. That's all recorded. It wasn't a week before the draft or that night. That's where we scouted and believed the biggest need was offensive line, especially at tackle, and they did it. So now I'm looking at this football team, and I saw a priority last year. They traded out with the intention of protecting your ass. That's what they did. They passed on Bryce Young and Stroud. They assessed them, and they passed. And they believed, let's assess Justin, who we didn't draft, one more year, see what he could do. And he failed. He failed. He won 5 games. And the reality of what I saw on tape tells me that throughout the season, he regressed. He didn't get better like you're promoting. Now, if you were to make a highlight film of Justin Fields, I would say 60% of it's going to be him breaking away and escaping and running the football. It's what it is. It's not him in the pocket throwing the football. I can think of 3 plays that I could say that was a good drop back, get to your point of reference and rhythm, good relationship with the receiver, and lets it go. Obviously, everyone can remember Detroit game where the Lions defender jumps off sides, got a free play, and Justin hits DJ Moore. That is in the structure of the pass, everything. But I struggle. I struggle with it. And I know I put all of the time and effort. I'm not skipping out on it. I'm sitting there looking at this tape to see, are we going to be able to build off of this kid? And I say no. You can't wait. You're not gonna fix this kind of stuff that he has. The footwork problems, the falling to the side when he throws, the ball trailing out of bounds with open receivers, missing open receivers. It's over and over and over again. Then you come and watch on Patreon, and you can ask Sean Stewart, Jeff McLaughlin, Bear Truth, Alex H., Kerry Franklin, Frank Hacks, any of these guys that are consistently watching live. And we will have part 3 and 4 of Caleb Williams, and then we're going to break down Drake May, then we're going to break down Penix, and you could see where these guys just aren't on the level of Caleb Williams. And it's just that simple. Unfortunately, it's going to be talked about until April. In fact, I had Big Steve Edwards call me the other day. He's starting his own show. Who knows? He might be on this network soon. He's like, Phil, I just can't take it anymore. I had to go on there and just destroy these dudes making fun of Caleb Williams. Nails the fact that he was so upset of losing that he runs into his mom's arms. He's like, I wish I could run into my mom's arms. Unfortunately, she passed away. And have an emotional moment and have these fucking guys that are sitting there.
Listen to what Daniel Jeremiah talked
drinking
about
beers,
right,
busting ball. Like your life was to go to school to break someone's fucking balls. That's what you're talking about with this kid crying with his mom. You think the Bears don't understand? Come on. That showed any kid that shows me emotion on the field.
Well, it's just like everybody saying that he wore the people saying that he wore a dress. He was in a fucking photo shoot for GQ magazine.
Oh my God!
For Christ's sake, it's literally
it's some Asian.
It's fucking ridiculous. That's what
I've never seen anything like it.
Look what he's wearing in this magazine. He's not going to fit in Chicago.
Yes.
Did Dennis Rodman pose in a fucking wedding dress?
Yeah.
Did anybody give 2 shits about that? No, but you would have if he did it in Detroit. That's my point. if that's your negative, that tells me all I need to know. You're never going to change.
When anybody starts
means
with
nothing to you. It means nothing to you. That means that you're going to be a fanboy to the current quarterback, and that's it. And that's fine. Go ahead. And when he gets traded in a couple of weeks, go to that team. Don't watch us anymore. Go to Pittsburgh. Go to Atlanta. Go someplace else and watch.
Exactly, because you're not.
Pittsburgh.
And you know what?
I was breaking down tape of the GQ photo spread, Phil. Did you see his inseam? Oh my God!
Can't believe that stitch.
Disgusting.
I am
DM me the other day. Said that Caleb Williams has a weak arm. For real. Real.
I mean,
oh my God, that's the one
you're
thing
just showing me that you don't know anything, that you've watched nothing.
Let's finish this audio. I want to say one other thing too about that, because it's so frustrating. Like people, like we had Brian Perez. I've known Brian for a number of years. He has no want but for the Bears to be great. And he recognizes the best talent he's ever seen there. Now, of course, with that, even the Chicago Bulls, the night they drafted Michael Jordan, they were like, I don't know what we have, but I know it's amazing in college. I hope it. That's football. That's sports.
Right.
But you can't sit in the box and watch all the pitches go by.
Guess what?
You just can't.
Go back and watch us the night that Justin was drafted and watch how excited
our open.
all of us were. Right, exactly. So we're pushing narratives because we were excited that night? No, we see something better, and we see issues that he had at Ohio State that aren't fixed after year 3. Oh, they're going to get fixed in year 4, Shane. They're going to get fixed in year 5. Get him Marvin Harrison Jr. Oh, he didn't do it first year with Marvin Harrison. That's because Marvin Harrison's a rookie. You got to give him another year, Shane. You got to give him. Oh, yep. Well, no, DJ Moore was thinking about his next contract. That's
yeah. It's tiresome.
The inseam that GQ wanted him to wear on his pants during the Packer game. That fucked him up.
A double stitch.
Yeah, he can't play. He can't play.
Nino, I've actually asked my dad about this, and honestly, you're 100% wrong. It's not a red flag. It's
Daniel
not.
Jeremiah talked about it. Daniel Jeremiah has been a scout in the NFL and worked for the Baltimore Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles in their front office, and he pretty much laughed at it. He said, if you think that guys in the NFL are worried about that, they see him do that, and they're like, that shit matters to that kid. It's the guy that's walking off the field that's just like, what time we going to the club?
Exactly.
That's the fucking kid that they're worried about.
Yep.
That's the kid that
does it really matter to
all
them?
Of that.
That as a coach, Nino, I'm going to tell you. I know we had it, my speech to the kids when they lost. And there's 10 kids, yes, they're 9 years old, crying. But as a coach, I'm sitting there. I know they gave everything they had. The emotion is real. You tap into that, and they grow into amazing men. It's called empathy. It's called compassion. And I did too, Brian. I told my son, I was on the ground crying when the double doink happened. When a coach sees a quarterback of all people show the kind of emotion. And listen, we don't sit there and judge how you mourn a loss in your family. People do that though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at, she doesn't give a shit about her dad. She's not even crying. These kind of people are all over the place. I've never seen a more nasty, ridiculous fan base in my life. I'm embarrassed. I'm just seeing it constant, just tearing it. We can debate. I love that.
and go through stats. I love that. But as soon as you start lying and taking shots and talking about the crying and painting nails and he's a pussy, he's a weak carry, he's a diva, you don't know shit. Absolutely no shit. You have no idea. And when a guy goes into let me tell you something. When a guy goes into a photo shoot, there's some asshole in charge always. Everything's hustle. All right, we got to get him in this. We want you in this unit. We want you in this picture. Come here. All right, take it. And he's just doing what he's being asked. So now you're going to judge him on that? Come on. I judge him on the field. And honestly, we are so lucky. This should be a time where all of us are celebrating.
Same photo shoot.
Celebrating that we have an opportunity to take this kid right here to be the next quarterback of the Chicago Bears, because you're in a position where you finally get that guy. I'll just tell you a quick story. The same guy that has the competitive drive that basically willed his team down the field, whether it was reffing involved and bullshit, whatever you want. But Patrick Mahomes cried after winning the Super Bowl there. But that's okay, because it was the Super Bowl and he won. I'm sure Brock Purdy had a moment by his locker. I'm certain you know the picture of Walter Payton in his last game, thinking about he's never going to do it again, and he's crying on the sideline. Those kind of players are the ones that you want to build your programs around, because I don't know what it means to every guy on the football field. I've been around the game my whole life. I see people in the locker room. They don't give a fuck. They're doing exactly what Shane said. Well, all right, where's the party at tonight? They don't care. And you look like, wait, what? Chris Zorich tells the story himself. Getting into the NFL, wild-eyed, young buck with some of his idols looking at him, growing up. He's a rookie, yes, right. Getting picked on. Then he's looking around. Do they really care as much as him? Now you got to compartmentalize that. Are you going to follow this guy who doesn't give a fuck? Are you going to follow the guy that does? Or are you just going to be able to embrace that yourself and be the leader? That's the leader.
So according to one of our, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Ryan Cox,
I hear you.
Yeah, Ryan Cox texted me and said I sounded way lower than you guys. But anyways, Jackal, that picture that you got there, put that up.
Oh, yeah. Shit. I thought this was interesting.
Yeah, so Bryce Young measured in at the combine at 5'10" and some change. So according to, I think, Daryl in the comments, Caleb Williams is 5'11" and too short for the NFL and has to scramble only to the right to compensate, which just shows us that Daryl has absolutely no fucking clue what he's talking about, other than just listening to what other.
Is Daryl a patron?
I have no idea.
Because Daryl, if you are, then you're just not paying it.
My guess would be
in the back class. Yeah.
Out of college,
let's
screens and scrambles.
Let's watch. Let's finish this.
Was coming out of college. It was
when Mahomes,
and they drilled that into him, and they were able to take all the talent that he had, which was still raw.
Hold on.
Were able to corral it and develop it, and then what you see is what you get. I don't think the Mahomes that we see now is the exact same Mahomes we saw when he was coming out of college, which is to say he got better and he developed, and that's where he is now. There's no perfect prospect, Rich. Where you go matters. It's going to matter a lot for Caleb Williams, but I believe, in my opinion, this is one of the more physically gifted and talented players at the position we've seen in a while, and some assembly is required, and he's going to need to go to the right place and get developed. But no, I wouldn't make that declarative statement that he's that he's not going to be very good. Fair enough, though. Mahomes is going to loom over this.
So there you go with that one thing. And then he comes back and talks about Waldron and all that, because he was addressing Merrill Hodge, and he's being professional about it. I'm sure behind the scenes by the freaking bar cooler there,
making
with
comments
the daddy sodas. He's like, Merrill Hodge don't know dick about quarterbacks. That's what he's saying behind the scenes.
Go write another book.
And that would be correct. So when people come and throw these grandiose people, well, this guy, anybody in the NFL right now, honestly, doesn't really matter to me what they say.
even the guys that are trashing Justin Fields, doesn't really matter to me because I know what I saw on tape and continue to see are the same issues that Justin had me nervous about in college, like Shane said. And I also want to point out, if you think, just look at a man, like I have turned down a lot of coaching positions, as Jackal and Shane could tell you, because of family. I don't want to uproot my family and then a coach get fired. Now I got to, no, I don't want to do that. So I turn it down. So these guys that are in the NFL are the same thing. You think they want to move from Seattle to Chicago, then over to San Diego, San Francisco? No. They don't want to keep uprooting their families. So I'm telling you right now, do you think Waldron and Brown are coming here as established coordinators to be with a dead coach on a one-year deal to work with fixing Justin Fields and attach your career to that for 1 year? I don't. I know the carrot is the opportunity to have Caleb Williams come into the league and you work with him, and then the Bears turn it around because they have 75% of their offense. They have a good defense, and there's an opportunity here with a all-time great rookie that you can get the kind of lightning that you saw in CJ Stroud. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying that's the belief you should have.
Yes.
And that's what they do, because guess what happens to Shane Waldron then? He becomes the next head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, whoever the frig will be open next year. And Brown becomes the OC. And then Brown in 2 years, the Bears are in the Super Bowl, and Brown is getting the head coach. And that's how this works. So these all are pointing right in your face, and you're reading some asshole who's got no coaching experience, no freaking football experience, but looks like he smoked meth for 3 days. And you're listening to this kind of shit and you're believing it. That's the problem. That's the problem. I'm tired of it.
It's just there's so much content out there, man. People they're getting it wherever they can because it's what everyone wants to consume and talk about right now. If you're a Bears fan, that's your universe. Is this discussion? It's crazy.
This is Daniel again about.
So I guess my question for you is, with Shane Waldron there in Chicago, when you say best fit, is that a good fit? Like, will Williams blossom in Chicago with their current roster and their current building and OC?
Well, I think there's still, there's a lot of work to be done there, and, I think Waldron has a good reputation. He's somebody who's respected. The people that I know him, I don't personally know him, but I've heard good things there. They still need to continue to add to that offensive line. They need another complementary piece to DJ Moore, who played really well last year. And I think you're going to have some patience. I mean, I do agree from the sense that, CJ Stroud, what he did last year was so phenomenal and so outside the norm to just hit the ground running like that. I don't think that Caleb is as polished as some of these other quarterbacks, but the ceiling is what you're chasing there, and that's going to require some patience. So, no, everything I've heard about Waldron's good. I like some of the pieces they have there in Chicago. There's still more work to be done, but you can dream on what Caleb Williams can be. And people say, oh, you're chasing the ceiling. I'm like, yeah, well, you look around the NFL right now at the high level of quarterbacks, and it's hard. It's hard to say, I just want a steady Eddie, guy. I want to go chase what they have. I want to have one of these cyborg quarterbacks to go blow for blow with these elite guys.
I think you have to, right? And that's the whole point. That's the whole point, is can Justin Fields, after, as you said, 39 games of evaluation, take that next step and be that guy? Or do you start the clock from the very beginning and go get Caleb Williams. Do you think that's an upgrade? Is Caleb an upgrade in your estimation?
I think he's, just looking at
I
where they
do.
were coming out, I think he's more gifted than Justin. And I think he does things faster. Everything's a little bit faster. Now, Justin, obviously, speed-wise is on his own level there. But just in terms of quick feet, quick hands, quickly getting from 1 to 2 to 3, I've seen Caleb do those things. And there's just some instinctual stuff that he has, some creativity, some magic, whatever you want to call it. He has that. So he's a higher graded prospect entering into this portion of the process.
Catch the Rich Eisen show.
Good job by Rich Eisen there with Daniel Jeremiah. And you hear it. And Daniel, it's not going to give all his stuff out there. And I think we've answered the red dress,
It's literally the weakest argument ever made. He's in a photo shoot. I mean,
well, 2A All Day has an elephant as his ABI. Should we start getting on you for elephant abuse?
How much do you think they paid him for that photo shoot?
Probably a lot of money, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And somebody will, instead of
Porsches and Ferraris he's driving out there. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, the guy's making money.
You can't hate on a kid. Yeah. Once you start trying to get into other people's wallets, you're losing the understanding of what's going on. Like, come on.
Phil, the fact of the matter is, the people that are against it, if Justin Fields did the same exact thing, nothing would be said. It would be, guys, he's in a photo shoot. He is him. The inseam looked fabulous on him.
He had the proper stitches.
Yeah, his stitching is great.
I just have never seen anything like this. And I am a people person. But it's so disappointing. And listen, people are going to fall for fucking used car salesmen all the time. I don't hide. Shane doesn't hide. We come on here and why you take it so personally? Because that's this show. It's keeping it 100. I do take it personally because I know when someone's a fraud and you're believing it's misleading to people.
Right, exactly. Great point, Luminous.
It's a toga. He's being in style. Have you seen some of the fucking outfits? But it's okay for my corner to walk in as fucking Spider-Man before a game. You think I would allow that shit as a head coach? Hell fucking no. Get rid of the fucking Spider. He'd be so embarrassed by my jokes.
But yeah.
Exactly. I wouldn't tolerate this shit. Wouldn't do club dub after fucking winning one game. This is all the shit. The Bears fucked up. I totally agree with anybody saying it. Hasn't been a big, great offseason for the Bears because they kept Eberflus. I'm not a fan of it. They had an opportunity to have the greatest offseason in the history of Chicago football by getting Jim Harbaugh here, and then Caleb Williams, and then Brock Bowers or Dunze. And that, what are people saying then? Holy fuck, we're going to the Super Bowl. And in a league that always flip-flops in regards to where people's records are and where they go, I'm not selling. I thought this team was a 9-win football team. That's what I thought. And I put mine in. Thank you, Jamal. I put mine. I don't try to take the temperature of the fan base and follow them so everyone will like me. And then I'll write this clever little escape clause. I call it a parachute of bullshit. They invented in fucking Britain because we beat their ass when they came here. Fuck it. Let's cleverly put this in there so we can cover our bases. Oh, I was always on Caleb. And Caleb's lighting them up 4-0. I want to read this because Shane did it last week. And it's, to me, any Justin Fields conversation starts with this understanding here. It starts with the understanding of what is the NFL, Mr. Jackal? What does it take to win in the NFL, Jackal? Tell me.
You have to have solid quarterback play. You have to have solid quarterback play.
What is the and what is the league considered? A what?
Passing league.
Passing
Thank
league,
you,
sir.
Shane, helping.
I was
him.
getting there. I was just, I knew where you were going.
It's a passing league. It is a passing league. So last week, my boy, who's like a brother, Shane Marsaw, and I'm going to give the Bright Side Bear at the Bright Side Bears on X a standing ovation, because this is the hammer that just destroys any argument that anybody can ever have about their quarterback without doing what Shane did. So I know Nano, what's his name? Knows, whatever. I know Daryl, you're a Justin Fields fan. I know there's a lot of fans of Justin Fields alone, and that's fine. But let's look at it beyond the tape. Let's go to the stats. Games with 225 plus passing yards in the 2023 season. Let's start it off with number one, and Jared Goff. He had 14 games. He happened to win the division and go to the playoffs. Dak Prescott. Is this matching passing league, Mr. Jackal? Here we go. Keep that in your brain. Dak Prescott, 13. Won his division, went to the playoff. Tua Tagovailoa, however we're going to say it.
Tagovailoa.
Thank you, Shane. 13, 225 plus passing games. Patrick Mahomes. I think he won his division as well. Tua did. Patrick Mahomes, 12, Chris.
Yep.
Jordan Love, with all that shit at receivers, with the argument for Justin Fields and talent just drops in the toilet when you take a look at what the rookies and the first-year receivers that Jordan Love had. He had 12. Josh Allen won his division, had 12. Or maybe the Miami Dolphins won. Josh was in the playoffs, 12. Brock Purdy, know him? 12. Matt Stafford, 12. Rookie, CJ Stroud, 12. Oh, Trevor Lawrence, that guy I had ranked number one in that draft, he has 10 last year. Remember, this is last year. Baker Mayfield, he sucks. Come on, Daryl. He sucks. Right, Daryl? Sucks. He's bounced around. 10 games. Sam Howell, bro. They want Caleb, right? They got the coach over there with now they're going to get Caleb. Craziness. Sam Howell, 9. Derek Carr, 9. Geno Smith, 9. Jalen Hurts, 8. Justin Herbert, hurt half the year. He still had 8. Lamar Jackson, the MVP, 7. Joe Flacco came in week what? 11? 10? When did he come in? He had 6. Gardner Minshew, 6. Rookie quarterback out of Purdue, Shane's boy. Draft him late. Aiden O'Connell had 6. Kirk Cousins, who was hurt almost all of this year, had 6. Desmond Ridder, you're calling him a bust. He had 6 himself. Kyler Murray, 5. Zach Wilson, Jackal. Zach motherfucking Wilson.
Your boy.
He had 5. Mac Jones had 5. Kenny Pickett, 5. Jake motherfucking Browning, a backup quarterback in Cincinnati, 5. Joe Burrow, hurt, 5. Will Levis, another rookie, 4. Russell Wilson, 4. Justin Fields, 6. In his career. In 39 games,
Don't tell me. Don't ever tell me. That is there for facts. It's a passing league. You want to get better? It starts at quarterback. Anybody worth their grain of salt, you could be a fan. I love David Montgomery, but if you're going to move on, you got to improve. You always got to get better. I just ran it down for you. 6 in his career. Fucking O'Connell with the Raiders had 6 this season. It's not hard to see what the biggest weakness is with the Chicago Bears. If this kid was Justin Trubisky, nobody would be fighting this. Nobody. But because it's Justin Fields and he has great highlights of running the football and making a play here or two, in a passing league, it ain't going to get it done. If you didn't learn anything from that, just then take your brain and watch the playoffs and watch what happened and what was necessary to win in the playoffs. You control all you want, but you can't hide the truth on tape. And when it's all done, that's what it is. So the only way, I don't need to help his trade value. Apparently, someone's got to fall in love with him. And I'm not going to stand here and sit here and watch people lie and manipulate this shit. If it was different, I'd be here all defending Justin Fields. All defending. I could continue to destroy narratives and make these things what they are, but all you have to do is pop in the tape and go become a patron and watch with an eye on the Chicago Bears. An eye on the Chicago Bears. Think about what you're going to do, what your weaknesses are, and you go to the top. The top is the quarterback. It's the Holy Trinity, Shane. And I thank you for finding that shit. And thank you. I'll put it up. I'm sorry. Great Caleb Williams Chapter 2 breakdown. Do you want to see Shane, my father, and myself break down these Caleb Williams as Jackal's showing you the great tweet by this dude, the Bright Side Bear. Follow him. Maybe get him on the show. Get him on the show. This is a passing league. Don't manipulate the truth. Rookie Bryce Young with nobody. He has an aging Adam Thielen as his fucking. What did he have? Bryce Young, 7.
Here, Phil, I got something I want to throw up here, and see if I can make it bigger. Was it you that shared this today?
Not me. I haven't ever seen this.
But this is
the St. Brown's brother, Amon.
Yeah, this is Amon-Ra St. Brown on with DJ Moore and his brother Equanimous St. Brown, and Amon-Ra asks them, "What's the deal with Darnell Mooney?" And listen to the interaction. Hopefully, you can hear it.
What's with Mooney, bro? Like, I gotta ask you guys.
Why don't you guys hear it?
Oh, you can hear it?
Yeah, it sounds perfect.
On the ball. I want to know so bad. He's so cold to me. I'm like, you guys don't even use him.
Bro, you're asking the wrong person then.
Right. You asking the wrong 2 people.
Bro, you guys are in the room. Like, does he not say anything?
We all just do our jobs.
And then when you do throw it,
why can't they say
so
anything?
like he just misses it. I just feel so bad for him.
Rewind that part right
He was
there.
open. He'd be open so many times. Just when he is, it's missed. But when we throw it to 2, it'd be on point, like perfect. It's crazy. Yes, it'd be perfect to you. But Mooney be wide open. Even like the Hail Mary versus the Browns. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker play.
I was like, fuck. And nigga Mooney, he gonna get paid though. He's cool. What's with Mooney, bro? Like, I gotta ask you guys.
I'm on the record of saying why I love Darnell Mooney, because he gets open. And I've said this, thank you, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Because I've said the same thing. It's infuriating. I said it to Shane. I'm like,
If this dude can throw the ball, he's wide open. He misses them over and over. You know, in the NFL, you're only getting a few shots at these open receivers. Think about it. Those long crossers, he's missing them. And thus, that's stats to help your free agency or your contract situation. Listen, player isn't lying there. That dude right there is a beast with the football. Like, he comes off the stem out behind a linebacker, and I know he dropped critical balls in that playoff game against the Niners, but dude is sticky finger. He wants the football. And you know what, Nano? He cried after he lost to the 49ers, sat on the bench and cried. Now, he didn't go to his mom because she left the building. But I don't. Who sent you that? That is crazy.
Well, yeah, it's from Mitch Trugotsky on at Trugotsky on Instagram.
That was very enlightening. And listen, somebody called me racist, Cherie, because I'm telling you like it is, and they're saying I don't like Justin Fields. But it just doesn't correlate when your favorite quarterback in the last, I don't know, how long have I been doing this? Watching the draft for a long time. He's the best I've ever scouted. He happens to be black. It doesn't match up. It doesn't equate. I have no biases in my body when it comes to nationality, because God knows Justin Fields has different nationalities attached to him. I think his father's Puerto Rican or half Puerto Rican. Someone could look that up. I think I remember seeing that. I can give two shits. What I care about is on tape. So it just doesn't matter to me. Any of that. Caleb Williams is light years ahead of what Justin Fields does with the football in his hands in a pocket. It's very easy for me to see. And again, sometimes I get over my skis. Steve was saying, sometimes we just see things different because we've been around this game all the time. So you just got to understand that some people are ignorant to it. The word ignorant defined is not knowing because you've not studied it. So you're ignorant to the facts. You might not know how to watch tape, but I'll tell you what, I'll tell you the truth. Merrill Hodge didn't watch 3 coaches' tapes. He watched 3 television games and came away with that opinion. And it's a dumb one. It's a dumb one. Carrie, my wife, chose the Wolverines. I don't know what their choices are yet. I think they both liked it, but I'm not trying to spoil that, Carrie. But I thank you for the $20, and I love you. We did address this, Don Wanderley, and I'll just reiterate it again. Merrill Hodge. Actually, I have a breakdown for Merrill Hodge. Let's see. Let's play a game with Chris Jackal.
Yes.
Who is Merrill Hodge talking about? You ready?
I'm all ears.
I'm going to read this scouting report. You tell me the quarterback he's talking about. He's inaccuracy, man. You look at some of his throws and you're like, what the blank is just slow and deliberate with everything he does. And that gets you in trouble in college. Then in the NFL, you're going to have a bigger issue, a huge issue. Can it be cleaned up a little bit? Yes. But ultimately, that's his twitch. And to switch a twitch is almost like an instinct. You can't make a guy instinctive. You can't say, hey, we're going to work on your instincts today. If a guy's not accurate, you're not going to change that. I don't care what anybody tells you. Who is Merrill Hodge talking about? This is a good game. Cherie, you want to guess who he's talking about too?
Well, you said
I'm going to
Mahomes is the
cheat because
second
Ryan
round pick.
Cox already put it in the chat, and I'm
Oh.
going with his answer.
All right. Yes, he's talking about Justin Herbert.
Thanks, Ryan.
Justin Herbert. All of this doesn't match up. That didn't match my scouting report of Herbert, and it doesn't match up with what he saw.
Hope he wins some Super Bowls in LA.
He also, as Shane pointed out, said Patrick Mahomes is somebody you take in the second round. You're either drafting a fun quarterback to watch, or you can put it together and he can put it together and you trust as a starter, or he's going to be a big giant bust.
I remember when we were talking about that draft class, I'm on record. If you go way back to the previous place where we were, my exact words about Patrick Mahomes were, he's either going to blow up and put up PlayStation type numbers, or he'll be out of the league in 4 years. That's just the way that I felt about him. And he hit it big.
He
ain't putting up PS4 now. He's putting up PlayStation 5 numbers, right? PlayStation 6.
Does he have 4 rings?
3.
3 rings, but he's been there 4 times.
Brady won his 4th Super Bowl at age 37. Patrick Mahomes has 3 at age 28.
Wow.
And they're one of the youngest teams. They're one of the youngest teams in the NFL.
And the thing about that Super Bowl, guys, and I'm going to get to Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. I haven't read it yet. The thing about the Super Bowl is that the Chiefs' offensive line stunk. They were letting him go. And
I agree, Tony. I'm with you on that.
And then his offensive weaponry surrounding him isn't that great either. He's got a tight end in Travis Kelce and some guys he makes great. See, the difference is the quarterback makes these guys better. It's always been that way. Yes, there's going to be a few stories like Randy Moss that is going to make a quarterback that around him a little better. But it's really up to the quarterback to distribute, make the reads, and get the football to the playmakers. And Jordan Love, somebody else had a great showcase of that, Shane, and just went down the list. Okay, Bears fans, you're talking about Justin Fields. You got Mooney, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Tunyon. You got Khalil Herbert, Deonta Foreman, and you have
they're acting like the Bears are barren, and Phil,
they're
we've
not
talked about
barren.
this 100 times.
Some of those guys are role players. Let's call them what they are.
But you take Green Bay's wide receivers and put them in Chicago, and everybody's complaining that he needs weapons. It's just a fundamental
I would love
fact.
to have Green Bay's wide receiver room. Those guys, they got a good young wide receiver room. They got 3 guys in there that I'm not saying.
You think Chicago Bears fans would agree with that if that's who Justin Fields is throwing to every week?
If you put up Jordan Love numbers.
No.
Yeah. How far away from that?
That's the whole point why you draft Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Is so you get to Caleb Williams. So you get
Brandon Morgan, 1999. Love the show, guys. I could tell you guys really watched the tape. I'm a Texans fan, but the Bears are my second favorite team, and you guys make me like the Bears more, or them more, because we're pissed at the Bears. I like Justin, but I hope they draft Caleb. He is better, in my opinion, and your opinion would be right. For me, I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. Like, it's not even close. So therefore, it's like, if the Bears don't do it, they are the dumbest team in the history of professional football. If they get and trade down for this quote unquote, Shane, Hall, we're going to talk Hall. Thank you, Cherie. I love you.
This is the thing too, Phil, and you and I talked about this a little bit also. People that are against drafting Caleb Williams are under the assumption that you cannot build your team if you draft Caleb.
You said it with Brian Perez. That's a mic drop. Caleb is the Hall.
Well, he is the Hall, but
you can offer me
it still
500 things. I'm going to turn it
prevent
down.
you from improving your team.
Oh, exactly. You still have the 9th pick.
Right, and you can.
You're acting like you only have the 1st pick. You got the 9th pick. You could trade down from 9 and have Caleb Williams.
Right.
The best player in the draft by far. Marvin Harrison can't touch what Caleb Williams can be. That's what the draft is. It's what they can be. That's unfortunate for you, because when you're sitting there, well, he didn't beat ranked teams. He didn't beat ranked teams. Well, he did. You just don't understand when it happens.
Ooh, shame.
What is this?
Mock draft.
Can you guys see it? I know it's a little bit small. But let's get into this. So the Bears are on the clock here at number 1.
Yes, Caleb Williams. Thank you. And I cry a tear of joy. And someone thinks I'm a pussy because I did, but we've never had this kind of quarterback.
All right. So Washington
takes Marvin Harrison.
There's been some rumors out there that
Sam Howell, 8 games, Chris, 225 yards passing.
Threw for almost 3,800, I think.
That would be a Bears record.
I know. Let me see if I'm right. I'm looking at
broke Eric Crane.
So the New England Patriots now have a new quarterback, and that is Drake May from the University of North Carolina. That, you know what, they could have used in Washington, because Phil, what is he familiar with? The air raid system.
The air raid. Cliff Kingsbury's.
So
he might be watching the show.
So Joe Alt goes to the Arizona Cardinals at number 4 because they can't get their guy, Marvin Harrison. So here is a wild card, and this is how this works. Now,
he broke a Bears record, bro. I'm sorry, Shane.
Yeah.
He broke a fucking Chicago Bears record. Sam
How many touchdowns?
How many tutties?
I'll tell you right now. Hold on.
Hurry up.
Right here. 21 and 21. 21 TDs, 21 ends. 63%, 63.4%.
Would have broken a Bears passing record. Just come on. Come on, guys.
At number 5,
don't be afraid of greatness.
Yeah.
You have the LA Chargers and Jim Harbaugh up, and there's been some chatter about maybe Brock Bowers there.
Yeah.
But there's been even more so lately, a lot of talk about them going offensive line to give Herbert even more protection. But, you know, so Alt goes right there, and we'll see which way they go. I'm assuming probably
this is our
in this
first mock draft, by the way.
So they go with
Bowers.
They do Bowers.
Brock Bowers.
I would have bet Jim Harbaugh would take a tight end.
So this is what we need to keep in mind during draft day. So if the Bears are at number 9,
Jaden's still available.
These two teams 5 and 6. So if you're fixated on, like, say a Malik Neighbors or a Roma Dunze, you want to watch number 5 and number 6. You get past number 6 and there's one of these left, I don't think Tennessee's going. Tennessee, you can almost guarantee, is going offensive line no matter what. I don't think Atlanta is going wide receiver again. So now, really, at this point, the way that it's looking, if the Giants go wide receiver here, let's just say they go Malik Neighbors, you're essentially, in my mind, guaranteed Roma Dunze at number 9.
I think Jaden Daniels might go here.
Here we go. Giants. Can they take a quarterback here?
I'm talking real life.
Yeah.
On draft night, when we break this down, the two key teams for the Bears at number 9 are number 5 and number 6. Write that down, because I'll tell you that night when number 5 and number 6 go, I can almost guarantee, I could probably tell you who the Bears are getting at number 9. If that top, if 6, 7, and 8 don't trade out or bail out or somebody else comes up. But the picks 5 and pick 6 are very significant to who ends up at number 9. So just keep that in mind. So I'm just going to go to 1. So we'll see who the Giants take here. So Malik Neighbors. So now at this point, in my mind, Roma Dunze
is a Bear.
Is guaranteed to be a Bear if that's the direction that you want to go.
He would be my number 1B wide receiver.
Right behind.
Yeah,
Neighbors.
and please
Harrison
get
Jr.
this out of your
Harrison Jr.,
Malik
sorry.
Neighbors
I
is
have him
so
over
similar
him.
to DJ Moore that sign me the fuck up then. That
Right.
You could use 2 DJ Moores.
I can have 6 of them, and
Right.
I'd be
Yeah,
fine.
exactly.
That is not a negative.
Could we clone yet?
Yeah. So all right. So the
I
Tennessee
do
Titans.
DJ Moore.
I'm assuming offensive line. Sometimes
Yeah.
these
They go wonky.
mock draft generators, yeah, they'll go absolutely. They'll draft a fucking corner. There's not a corner going up here. So there you go.
Oh,
So
Shanu,
there
good
it
call.
was.
So now
they're gonna
now
take
you're looking at Jaden Daniels,
Jaden Daniels
probably,
right here.
most likely. And again, so this
Look,
is
you got
That's a
your
big
guy.
pickup for them.
this
If
is
it fell
coming.
this
This is
way.
coming to fruition. What I just told you guys.
He is.
What we just
It
talked
is.
about.
Let Shane cook.
Oh, you trade Justin Fields to Atlanta.
So the Jaden Daniels goes there, and
There it is.
Yep. So now you
Now
want
I
him to the
just take.
podium.
I
right,
take.
or
the
you're.
Dunze.
Oh, listen, I'm gonna hit.
I don't trade
play.
down.
I'm gonna hit play. I'm gonna see what the trade offers are. 100%. You
Yeah, what
have
do you
to
got?
entertain them.
Okay, let's see
All
what you
right.
get.
So the Seattle Seahawks have offered pick 16, pick 76, and their first rounder in 2025 for picks number 9 and 142. And that, I'll tell you what, I'm not dismissing that right off Jump Street to drop 7 spots and pick up a future first. And you're also picking up pick 76.
Seattle with a new head coach.
Phil, you've said it yourself. I love Adunze also. I have neighbors over him. I can go get you Lad McConkey later in the draft with some maneuvering.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I'm seeing that they're giving it a 2025 first.
Right. And that's not
You're
the only
still
offer.
getting the 16th.
Buffalo's offering 28, 60, 99, and so that's going to be rejected.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rams are offering 1952, and so that's going to be rejected.
I think you got it. Yeah.
So let's see what everybody thinks. Listen, I have a hard time bypassing this pick if I'm Ryan Poles. Listen, you're going into 2025 with 2 firsts and 2 seconds. You still have Carolina's second rounder in 2025.
And you have Caleb Williams as
and
your
you have
quarterback,
Caleb Williams to boot.
And some money to spend.
who is of mixed ethnicity.
Yeah.
You're welcome, bud.
Way to wedge that right into our mock draft, but we're good.
I just saw it because I was all the way back in the chat. I was so far behind.
So we are accepting.
So you're
this
accepting
offer.
the trade.
And
they took Kool-Aid there.
And listen, I'm
What?
an Alabama
I like
fan. and
Kool-Aid, but
I
drinking
don't.
it, bro. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Seattle had conviction.
corners. Back-to-back corners, which is a good thing for Minnesota. But so
they're going to get the receiver here.
Yep.
Dallas Turner goes to
And they took
Minnesota.
the pass rusher.
Does Denver go quarterback here? You got a JJ McCarthy still out there hanging around.
I think the Raiders are trading up.
Keon Coleman.
Oh.
Wow. Coleman
Nate
went
Wiggins.
over a Dunze. If we get a Dunze.
Well, and this is the thing.
That'd be insane.
You're 2 picks away. You listen. We just
Could you
got
trade
some
back up?
compensation. You can move, but just for this, I say we
Let's
just
roll.
sit.
Let's
and
just.
see. Well, the problem is we could
They're
do
going
this.
by their rankings.
Dunze's going. Dunze's not getting past Indy.
No.
So, do you want to propose a trade to the New Orleans Saints to go up, or just sit?
Scroll to on the right. What do they got? He's the number 1 player on the board.
Oh yeah, number 1. But I mean,
they're
I
going
can
to
do it
go
by
by
CLA.
that. They're going to go by that. So yeah, what I would go.
JC Latham.
Let me see what else we got here.
Well, I'm just
You
so
got
if you.
my guy from UCLA, the pass rusher.
He retired already, though.
I'm
That
not,
makes me nervous,
I'm not
man.
touching the dude with the neck up there. I just, I think
He's
he's
outstanding.
Yeah, guys
Oh,
are bigger in the NFL.
I get it.
That makes me nervous.
What are we trading here?
So if you go 16, 14, you have right now you have picks 75 and 76. So I'm assuming that it's going to call. If you throw them 76, you could get up there, and let's see what the.
Let's go with 116. See what they
Instead
do.
of 76.
Yeah.
110.
Is that what it is? I can't see. It's so small. Give them 110 and 16. See what they say. Then we can come back and offer 76.
There you go, Phil. Negotiation.
Let's see what we get here.
Yeah, 3.
Did they accept it?
Yeah, they rejected it.
Denied it.
So to me, I am off. I am out on Latu at 16. I can't draft I mean, I like Newton.
He's a great 3 tech.
Yeah, Jared Verse, but
I love Jared.
Are you willing to flip the 76th pick in the draft to secure a Dunze, or would you rather sit?
For me personally, I like Newton. I like Latu and Verse. So it wouldn't be in my interest to sacrifice a 76 pick where I can get a receiver there.
We might end up being able to get neighbors
What's the
neighbors
chat
already
say?
went,
A Dunze.
Yeah.
What does the chat say?
They want Newton there. One guy's want Newton.
Yeah.
Take best player available. Wait.
So do you want to sit, or do you want to offer the 76?
I sit. I
see what happens. We sit.
Because you're right. Verse is going to go, or Latu is going to go to the Saints. That's what my guess is.
Bulaga, that's a hot name.
Wow, I just tackle.
So, do you want to try to flip pick 110 to the Colts for just a one spot?
Who'd they take?
Let's just wait.
Bulaga.
They could take a pass rusher here.
Yeah,
they need receivers though, based on what the Pittman's a free agent, right?
Are you in on Pittman in free agency, Shane?
No.
I don't.
I like.
See, I'm a lot higher on the other wide receiver out of LSU, Brian Thomas, also. So, like I said, I am not going to be shocked when he goes in the 15 to 20 range on draft day. That's how good he is. He led the country in touchdowns.
Yeah, he'll test
huge
well.
Red zone.
He'll have a huge combine. He's a good pro day.
So we will sit.
Let's
I
sit.
like it. Here we go.
Let's sit.
Boom.
We got our guy.
Ron Mitchell, which another guy that's going to go.
Yeah.
I was just talking to my brother-in-law at his Super Bowl party.
To go.
He's an Eagles fan, and they need secondary help. So absolutely. So we're going to get on the clock, and there has been no trades offered. So go around the room. Now, I mean, I love.
What offers do we have?
We don't have any.
We got none.
No, I'm a Brian Thomas fan, but I have a Dunze clearly over him.
I think you got to go with Dunze. He's talking
A
top
Dunze is my number 1B receiver here.
Yeah.
So I would go with a Dunze over the pass
Jackal,
rushers here.
I want Rome.
All right. So here we go. Rome Odunze.
There you go. Now you have Caleb Williams
and Rome Odunze.
And Rome Odunze.
Right there is your haul at picks 1 and pick 16. And by the way, we have the Seattle Seahawks first rounder next year in this scenario.
And we picked up a second rounder that we didn't have.
Right.
76 would be third, right?
Oh, is it the third?
Yeah, it is. 32,
well, and this is the thing with PFN. You can't trade. I would have traded Justin Fields to pick up a 2. So that's the
player
issue
package.
Here.
Yeah,
so
we've traded Fields to the Steelers, so we should take
I could easily see Latham in Pittsburgh. He totally fits there. Verse to the Rams.
Where's that center gonna go?
Marius Mims.
He's going late first, early
I'm trying
second.
to see Seattle gonna or I thought Philly may take him because of Kelsey retiring.
Brian Thomas
There he
goes to
is.
Dallas. Wow.
Brian
Jerzon
Thomas.
Jerzon Newton's still out there. Chop going to Green Bay. I would have no issue with that.
Yeah.
Tyler Guyton is a guy that's going to be climbing draft boards.
He's another.
So everybody knows. He's probably going to go
The
much
kid
earlier
from
than
Oklahoma.
Yes.
He's got a big
He's
pro
very
day.
good.
Yeah.
JJ
There he is.
McCarthy.
Going to
Arizona Cardinals.
Kyler, you're in trouble.
Bit of a shocker.
That's actually a great pick.
There. Yeah.
JJ McCarthy going to Arizona there. Jim's pissed off. Hardball.
Oh, so we had a trade Arizona, but Byron Murphy is a fucking animal.
Mm-hmm.
Love.
He
that
loves
pick.
Byron Murphy. Newton's still there. Is Latu still there too?
No, he went the very next pick.
Oh,
Yeah,
he did.
he did.
Right at
Oh, he
Jackson.
went to Jacksonville.
Fit
I
there.
can
So
see them getting that.
Kansas City.
Kamar.
I mean, they could take
Oh,
Newton
he just
here.
went. Kansas City.
Oh, they
Wow.
went defensive
Taylor.
tackle and bypassed him.
Jeez, Newton. They
Bo
passed
Nix to
Newton.
New England.
So are you interested in trying to
wait, no.
trade 2 third-rounders to move up? That's another thing that you have to look at. But probably in this, we'll just sit.
Could get the center.
Xavier Worthy. Bo Nix goes to the
Bo
Detroit
Nix.
Lions.
Wow, interesting.
Sign me up for that. I'd be happy with
Hendon
that.
Hooker and Bo Nix
Eric
battling out.
Kramer
for
would
the
get
two
his new
Get
Lions
his,
jersey.
yeah,
Bo
he get
Nix.
his Bo Nix jersey.
Graham, that's actually a fantastic pick for the. I think Graham
Chargers.
Barton's going to end up being a center in the NFL, even though he played offensive tackle
I agree.
in college. That's actually an excellent pick for Green Bay. I don't like to see that, but yeah. So let's go. There he goes. Jackson Powers Johnson
Yep.
goes to the Tennessee
Goes to the
Titans.
Tennessee Titans.
Cooper Beebe, another very good offensive lineman. So now
Some
we are in.
solid offensive
We are
linemen.
into the Montez Sweat.
Yep.
Jordan Moore. Oh, they made a trade and Trey Benson, Kalen King, Lad McConkey goes to Atlanta.
Ah, my guy.
Cedric Gray, Troy Franklin. That's a name that
Oregon.
I've seen connected to the Bears.
He's a
couple of
good
different
player.
times. Jerzon
Newton.
Newton goes number 47 to the New
Steal.
York Football Giants. Drink Cooper, Malachi Corley. Tyler Newman is actually a safety that I love, so of
Okay.
course he would end up in Philly.
There's our
Zach.
pick right there. 51.
Yeah, it easily could be Zach Frazier. So there you go. I mean, you would be in position. You could have
Yeah.
taken Zach Frazier there. You could go with put a fucking mountain in the middle of your defensive line like Tavondre Sweat. Oh
Yeah.
man, that would make a lot of things easier behind him. I'll tell you that. Philly, Jalen Ford, Jatavion Sanders, Tavondre Sweat. They get rid of Sweat and
Wow.
they bring in another Sweat.
They get
Save
the
some
big
money.
man.
Tampa Bay gets the
Michael
quarterback.
Penix going to Tampa.
Chris Jenkins from Big Blue goes to
Michigan. Cherie's guy.
Braylon Trice. I could see him in San Francisco. Jalen McMillan.
Trice is right.
All right. So we got some Darius Robinson. So these two edge guys I am in on all day for the Bears. Darius Robinson and Braswell later in the draft, in this area. Absolutely. All right. So the Bears got back-to-back picks coming up here.
Here we go.
So center goes off the board. Cedric Van Pran goes. All right. So the Bears have back-to-back picks, and let's see what
Christian Haynes is good.
So we got the wide receiver. There's Ryan Cox's guy.
Walker.
Barely see.
Didn't have a great Senior
Is there
Bowl.
a way to zoom in?
You gotta just
scroll with
you
your
got to
finger?
do it on your MacBook.
Yeah.
Can you scroll in a little?
How do I do that on here?
The same way you're.
Anyway,
There's a
well,
way
what
I
what
can't see.
Well, I know you're blind as a bat, and I have sight. Right? It's like a song.
I can't. All those names look so.
Michael Hall Jr.
What? So Ian would take Jared Verse at 9. Well, we weren't at 9.
Yeah, we're past that.
The chat. What are you guys looking at position wise?
Well, big needs. Center.
Yeah.
Tackle.
Troll and
edge
scroll
rusher.
up.
Center, tackle, edge. Wide receiver, we've got tight end, another tight end. This is not a good tight end draft.
No, the top 2 are gone already. Actually, Sanat is a guy that I do like, but I wouldn't take him here. To me, that's way too early.
My boy Lad McConkey would be I was praying he'd be here.
Yeah. Pearsall's a guy that had a good Senior Bowl. It's too early for a running back. Offensive tackle, you have anybody that you like? Phil or anybody?
Pearsall is very good. Yeah. I could take Pearsall.
You were big on the UConn kid, right? Haynes?
Yeah, he could move to center.
Yeah.
He's getting some love today.
Is Mims the Georgia tackle?
Yeah, he's gone. He went.
Gone.
Yeah.
Guyton went.
Yeah. Adisa Isaac. I like Isaac better than I like Chop Robinson. And I know a lot of people won't agree with me. But Jackal, what's the chat saying?
Batanu
a lot of center talk, and a lot of offensive linemen. But some people saying they can't see anything, so they don't know how to scroll in or like zoom in on their.
Yeah, I'm trying. I tried to control scroll up, but it's not. It's not working on my end.
Is it command and then right click up like? No.
Relab 17. We made a trade with Seattle that ended up getting us we ended up with an extra 3rd rounder, not 2 second rounders.
We'll figure out this whole. The kid from UConn is a stud.
I like him.
I would take Haynes because he has the ability to go to center too. He can play guard.
He is the
center.
According to them, he's the. We don't have 2 second rounders. We have 2 third rounders. We don't have a second.
If you hold down the command button and the plus, that zooms in.
Command on Apple and what?
The plus.
The plus sign.
Okay, we do that.
See if it works, ladies and gentlemen.
Did it on my computer. There you go. Yep.
Oh shit! I can see.
Thank you. Put that in there.
Who gave us that?
A bunch of people. Jack Turner is who I saw, but Frank Hacks was up there.
I think Frank Hacks is number 1.
All right. Well, thanks.
People want a center. 2. A lot of people want a center.
Well, look at this.
Well, you can take Haynes and move him to center.
Right.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not taking any of these centers here. So, I mean, I'm with Phil there on Haynes, and you're just making him your center.
We got to see him live.
Free agency center too.
You can see how he moves. It's like, oh boy,
yep,
this kid's special.
I mean, to me, I'm looking at it would be guard that you're moving him to center and edge. I don't know how people feel about Adisa Isaac, but like I said, I like him better than I like Chop Robinson, who went to Green Bay in round 1.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
I think Connor Williams will be back ready for the NFL season next year.
I don't know. ACLs are big human beings. You never know.
I would take the kid. Is the Trotter Jr.? Is he on there still?
I thought I saw him win.
Inside backer.
He went, I believe.
Oh, did he go?
Did he?
I thought I read that last name.
Shit. I'm drafting a football player. He is unbelievable football player, man. It's
safety.
So what's the consensus in the
it's
chat?
Definitely we're going to take the kid from UConn.
Haynes gives you flexibility with the Jenkins contract. Interesting.
Exactly.
That's a good point, Bill.
I like that.
Could play center. Very athletic, powerful at the point. Let's see. Try Chop Robinson went. Braswell went. That you talked about. You like him.
But I do like Adisa Isaac also. That's
the other kid from Penn State.
Yeah, to me, he's better. He's 6'4", 244.
Wow.
So he's fitting that, the size range. Essentially, you want to probably put on a little bit, but
Did the kid from Washington go? Trice went.
He ended up in
I
San
remember
Francisco.
Chris said that Trice. Kid from Oregon. The raw kid, Dorless.
The edge?
Yeah. Dorless went.
Who's there for safety? Mr. Burton wants to know.
Kalen Bullock, James Williams, Hicks, Harper from Notre Dame, Mustafa from Wake, Ike Smith.
Well, let's take the UConn kid.
Yeah. So
I would take him. Then let's look at need now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
6'4", 244 is not too small for an edge. That means that you wouldn't draft Will Anderson. You put on 10 pounds. You'd be fine.
Can't do that.
So, with that being said,
I would take the UConn kid.
Yeah.
Did the kid from LSU, the 3-tech, Mason?
Oh, we've been offered trades. I paused it too quick, so that's my bad. So Dallas, we have 2 trade offers after we went through all of that.
Yep.
They want pick 75 and our 2025 fifth for pick 87 and we get their 2025 third. So next year you would have 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s to drop down 12 spots.
No, I don't want that.
And
Seattle wants to trade with us again.
Yeah,
you drop 3
spots
rounder. And you get an extra 7.
Will Anderson's a defensive end. I don't know why this guy says he's a linebacker.
Will Anderson could play anywhere, Creighton. Easily.
He's a defensive end.
Yeah.
If you're going to call a 3-4 scheme and call him an outside linebacker, you're going to call him an edge. All of it is the same. He's playing on the outside shoulder of the offensive tackle or head up.
Beating the fuck out of people.
He's exactly what we said he was last year.
You called it.
All right. So
I would take the kid from UConn, and
he is a Chicago Bear, and we are back.
Now I'd take Pearsall. I'm going to take another football motherfucking player.
You want Pearsall at 76?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Roman Wilson?
I love Roman Wilson.
He had a huge senior bowl.
I
like Wilson more than I like Pearsall, but I like Wilson more than I like Pearsall. If you're going to go wide receiver,
I like what I heard about the kid from Michigan.
Well, Roman Wilson and Pearsall are very similar. Pearsall's going to be a smidge taller than him.
Yeah, they have him at
Roman
6
Wilson, both of them step up in the big critical moments, and they're not afraid of the football. I think Pearsall, to be perfectly honest, a little bit more twitchy.
Yeah.
Now, that's a great question. Benson from Florida State. That motherfucker's still on the board?
No, the running back?
Yeah.
No, he's gone.
Oh. Because the other running back I love in this draft is right there, Will Shipley, another football player.
Wilson can also be your punt returner.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
So this is what's.
So I think
happen.
Pearsall can punt return as well.
I am overruling everybody.
Ooh.
I'm drafting the edge.
You're going edge?
Yes.
So who'd you take?
I took Adisa Isaac from Penn State, who I think is better than Chop Robinson.
Boy, Will Shipley went off.
I gotta get a running mate over there for
fair.
Ted. Have to.
for Sweat.
Great. Shane went in.
All right, so let's run this because we have 2 4th-rounders, 2 compliments of the Philadelphia Eagles trade. So Brooks goes off, Bullock, Newton, Peyton Wilson. So let's just pause right there. We can go over to offense. And this shows you how motherfucking smart I am. We still have some wide receivers there.
Hey, yo, double up.
And if we go to the edges, we're getting down there. So shut the fuck up and listen to me sometime. You know what I'm saying?
How dare you?
I hear you. All right, so let's rip this off. There goes a wideout right there. Johnny Wilson. That's fine. Blake Fisher, Cam Hart, Thrash. We're getting into round 4.
Here we go.
All right, so the beginning of round 4. Blake Corum. Tez Walker goes to New England, and we lost Ryan Cox. He is now a New England Patriots fan.
Justin Fields will be throwing passes there, so he'll be happy.
All right, so we have there goes Roman Wilson, but Pearsall's still available, so we're in good shape if that's the way that you want to go.
Giants have been doing
Start throwing in some positions or some names that you want here, guys, because we got we'll see how this goes. Johnny Dixon, Jordan Travis. We have a trade. Drop 1 spot and you get pick 111 and 186. I would have no problem doing that.
Shipley went off the board, right?
So
wait, did Shipley go off the board?
No.
Who'd they take?
They took wide receiver Malik Washington.
Okay.
So we got Pearsall's there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So you got Pearsall.
Hold on. Is the running back from Notre Dame there?
No, he went.
Yeah,
He just went not too long ago. Brendan Rice is still there. I like Taj Washington also, if you're looking at wide receiver. I actually like
Washington.
I like Pearsall.
Yeah.
Wide receiver.
What is the chat saying?
Need a center.
No, we don't. We took one.
Yep.
We took the kid from UConn with the idea.
They have him listed at guard. But right here, we've taken Caleb Williams, Roma Dunze, Christian Haynes, who is now your center, and Adisa Isaac at 76. So
I look at Pascal wants a strong safety.
A strong safety?
Yeah.
You're benching?
No, I think he wants a free safety. You want to replace Eddie Jackson, right, Pascal? Atrice. There's my boy. He wants a safety, and I'm thinking running back is a need. Pearsall to me is a football player. I'm looking for football players now.
Well, we know Phil's gonna love Dylan Lobb from New Hampshire, the white running back.
I don't like Dylan Lobb.
Dude, what are you talking about? He wore his jersey to work today, dude.
Emily Bates.
Oh, look, Sam Hartman's there. We're not going to take him either.
No, he was awesome at the Senior Bowl.
The tight end classes.
Yeah, not great.
It's not that great, bro.
Would you be interested in a Kyle Pitts type of arrangement in a Justin Fields trade?
Well, are you sold that Michael Hall from Penn State or from Ohio State could be a 3-tech loose?
I like Michael Hall.
That is amazing value at this point.
I think you go there.
His Bears talk. Is that Brian Perez right there?
Mm-hmm.
Is that our guy?
That's what he's saying right there. You got to go, Michael Hall. I agree with him. We didn't have a second rounder. Let me put it. Ryan, look up at the screen and I'll put the picks up for you. We ended up trading down from 9.
Look at that draft. Look at that draft.
We went from 9 to 16, and we got the 2025 first rounder from Seattle. And we
you get Caleb Williams, and you trade every fan that hates Caleb Williams to wherever they trade Justin Fields to.
Yeah,
trade him out of town.
We can.
Big Lou is number 1. We're trading Big Lou.
I saw that earlier.
Big Lou.
So, well, just so everybody knows, we just took Michael Hall. So we now
Michael Hall.
Yep.
Well done, Shane.
Not Michael Huff.
Michael Hall. Shane. If we get Caleb Williams, you're cooking with gas. That's like, forget it. Like
that, man.
I will have a fucking parade outside my house down the road.
We're doing something right over here.
So we
got
got
another
Caleb.
one coming up at 122.
We got Roman Tuesday.
Yeah.
We got the UConn kid.
Ooh.
We're not doing any more. Yeah, we're not doing any more trades.
I don't like that one. Too far.
Well, Phil, if you went to wide receiver, you still have.
What is your thoughts on Burton from Alabama?
Down here, I'm
Brendan
all about
Rice with his former.
I like Rice. Rice is huge.
You got two.
Well, you got your big guy to do. I love the speed aspect that Taj Washington brings. I think.
What
he's
about
actually
Luke
underrated.
McCaffrey and Brendan Rice? Both have NFL genes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I like Rice. What's Rice's size again?
Yeah,
6'3".
Yeah.
Is he 6'3"?
About 210.
No, I'm looking. Brendan Rice, 5'11" in the USC guide. Oh, you're right, 6'3" in the guide.
You're looking at Taj Washington is 5'11", 5'10", 5'11".
Mm-hmm. He was just smaller of the two.
Yeah.
Big board. Let me get on a big board. Brian, speaking of Brian Perez gave me a big board.
What do you mean?
He gave us this site to go check out some of these boards. So I'm looking. I don't know how to work the site yet because obviously I didn't do it till tonight. But I wanted to see how tall Brendan Rice is.
He's 6'3". I already looked it up, dude, the other night. It's 6'3", 210.
Well, I'm all for getting
the USC
football player right now. That's what I want. Rice can't separate, Brian is saying.
6'3", 210. Yeah.
So now we're where? In the fourth round.
Got a nice linebacker. You got a football player right there at 106. Junior Colson. Just a fucking football player.
A beast.
So that's what I want. Safety.
It's everybody in the chat.
Lloyd from USC, Cowing. McCaffrey would be I don't know. McCaffrey's gone.
Oh, McCaffrey's there.
Oh, he is?
Steve Shinogle saying Cowing all day.
Zach Zinter.
Zach Zinter coming off of injury from Michigan. He's a center. He likes Jacob Cowing.
Yeah, he's
a slot.
170 pounds, yeah.
Damn.
Who's left at safety? The Notre Dame kid is there, Harper.
Okay. Trench player? Anybody in the trenches you like?
Well, some of these guys
We'll turn this pick over to the chat. Let them pick this. We'll see if we can come to some sort of a consensus in the chat.
I don't think you can take Zinter because he's coming off that injury.
Yeah.
Although he's a good football player, you want someone that's going to help you here. Kid is Javon Baker there, the receiver from UCF. Javon Baker.
Yep, he's in there. 142.
Oh, he's a good
on there.
He's a good football player.
To me, if you're going wide receiver, I'm taking Taj, but I'm not going to make the call.
It's your draft.
No, it's not my draft.
Tight end.
Go with it, Shane.
Tight ends. I'm trying to think of a tight end. This is not a good year for tight ends.
Brad likes your kid from Alabama.
Yep, Burton. He's good. I mean, where he would be lined up in this offense, he 100% fits.
The kid Sanders from Texas has a lot of athleticism. He's not. Tight end. Go to tight end. He likes cowing.
Yeah, Wiley.
Way down.
Theo Johnson, I know some people are high on from Penn State.
He's a big kid.
Yep.
Bell already went.
How do you guys feel about, how I am with Notre Dame players, but how do you feel about Thomas Harper from Notre Dame, the safety?
Thomas Harper, safety, Notre Dame.
I'd agree there.
Is the kid from Utah still there? Bishop.
Who does our guy Perez like here, Brian?
Dent.
This is what we've done so far.
Jesus. This is deep in the draft.
Yeah. A lot of safety talk. I think we go with the kid with Notre Dame.
Safety. Oh, man. Is Cole Bishop still out there?
I love that name.
That was my guy from Utah. At safety. Where's Bishop going? Grady likes Pooney.
Lloyd is a do-it-all guy. Well, just so everybody knows, the pick is in.
Lloyd.
And the Chicago Bears have selected Taj Washington, wide receiver from USC.
Shane's draft.
Shane's draft. I would have taken another.
Where are we at? So this is our last pick coming up at 186.
Here we go.
Last
I
pick
like Taj. I like Taj Washington more than I like Brendan Rice. To me, it's not even. I agree with.
What is it that has him jump out at you?
Fucking speed, man.
Okay.
You watch Chicago. Just watch him on special teams. To me, it's blinding, and it's been that way for a long, long time.
Okay.
The Bears' overall team speed. I just don't think you can ever have enough. I really don't. You put a guy like Taj Washington with Roma Dunze and DJ Moore in there, you can do some fucking damage.
And again, a lot of this is going to depend on what the Bears do in free agency that'll set up this draft. And here we are on our last pick. That was a good pick.
It was.
Shane went with the other receiver.
All right, chat. Let's go.
Asking Shane, who do you like?
Who do I like?
Yeah.
Go through here.
Is there a running back? I think you got to get a running back.
I feel like we may need to take a skill guy.
I guess.
I don't even think McClellan is in the draft. Didn't he? He transferred, right? And stayed.
Is he in the draft?
Yeah, I don't think so. Got Gabe Hall from Baylor. Tyler gives
Blake Watson.
Whew.
Carson Steele from UCLA.
Brady wants best player available.
Name him.
Who is it? On your list, what do you got? Torrey Taylor. Sounds like a porn star.
Torrey Taylor. Taylor Dane. Xavier Thomas.
6'2".
Clemson.
A lot of people like Mr. Hall.
Joe Milton.
Can Washington return punts, Shane?
Milton. I'm not a huge fan, but he's got a huge fucking arm. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He's got a howitzer.
Played like shit in the Senior Bowl, though.
Yeah, he's just got a big arm. He's got a long way to go.
Throw it through people.
Well, we have not gotten a safety. That's for sure.
I think running back
or safety.
Yeah. Not great. Is there any sort of consensus? We'll give it to the.
I see a lot of safety talk.
Yeah, Mustafa's gone though, correct? Didn't he go earlier?
Yeah, he went earlier.
If you want to go athlete, you can go Vaki there from Utah. Where's
Smith?
Where's our Utah aficionado? Where's Ben?
Seon Vaki?
Yeah.
He's in my draftable players.
Yeah. Come on,
Seon
Ben.
Vaki. 6'2", 208. Something like that.
Yeah. So that would be where I'm going there.
Vaki.
Yep. So
Vaki tonic.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Vaki straight up. Thank you.
There it is. Seon Vaki. I like that dude.
Yeah, you get an athlete this late in the draft. That's where you draft guys like this. Make
him a running back.
Doing the anti Jerry Azuma.
Yeah, the opposite way.
Hey, never know.
Our first mock draft of the.
There's Ben. He finally woke up. We get him a fucking Ute, and he comes back. See,
he finally shows
up. I
up.
had to hear.
The Chicago Bears finally.
All right, let's go over this one more time. So the Bears come away with Caleb Williams at number 1. We make the big trade down with Seattle. We move from number 9 to number 16. I don't see any way possible this is happening on draft day, but who knows? Maybe he killed a bunch of puppies and pushed an old lady off a bridge. I don't know. But we come away with the 2025 first rounder out of Seattle, Christian Hayes, the offensive guard from UConn, who is going to be snapping the ball to our new quarterback, Caleb Williams. Adisa Isaac. It's going to provide us some heat opposite Montez Sweat. Michael Hall at this point. I agree with Brian Perez. Pretty easy choice. You finally give Flus his true 3-tech that he covets. Speed. Taj Washington. And Sione Vaki, an athlete. Okay. Yeah, and Mr. Can do everything. Like I said, and again with the 2025 first rounder. But
that's great. And they could suck. Seattle could be in trouble. They're looking for a QB, their new coach. They got a bunch of shit they're trying to figure out up there.
Yeah,
first round pick, first pick in the draft again because Seattle shits the bed.
Well, yeah, you hope that they go out and have some key injuries, and
so now you would have two first round picks,
2 seconds
next year, and 2 seconds in 2025. You have your franchise altering, changing quarterback in Caleb Williams.
We're building our team with Caleb Williams, and I'm getting you assets now and in the future.
And nobody can deny that. There,
2 skilled players in this draft.
You gotta just understand that there's a generational talent that is in this draft. No matter what fans or all of these guys are talking about, this football team is going to be predicated. And if you're just tuning in, we obviously talked a lot about the manipulation of truth and stats and all of that. But when you pop on the tape, and I'm sorry, I'll bring Brian's back up in a second as Frank Hawks 49.99. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate DDP's outstanding breakdown. Also with Shane and my father on Caleb, chapter 1 and 2, patron. Super insightful, showing the good, the bad, and the amazing from your future Chicago Bears franchise quarterback. $7 a month is super generous. Shane's team-by-team QB exercise was a mic drop as well.
Yeah,
and it was.
And this is the thing, guys. And listen, I know like Creighton's like, what did he say? 1 O-line guy. Interesting. You can debate any mock draft.
We're going without seeing free agency yet.
Without seeing free agency, without seeing any type of trades. Anything that dictates. And I'll tell you what, who you draft another offensive line guy, who are they replacing? So Haynes is starting. He's going to be your day 1 starter at center. So, I mean, yes, the way that the if Alt falls, I have zero problem taking Joe Alt at number 9. Oh. No problem.
Right. We don't know what the draft is going to do. We did this. I think it's a little schmarmy when it's
With the
worded
dudes
like that.
with Rome at 16, it hurts.
If you're getting Caleb Williams and Rome
at 16,
right? Listen, things happen all the time. No one has predicted the draft correctly that I can ever remember. I actually think Brian Perez came pretty fucking close one time.
Rob, we are 100% in agreement, but on this mock draft generator, you can't trade
players. You
So,
can't trade.
We did all of this right here, and I can get you a second rounder plus all day for Justin Fields.
I think Rob was replying to somebody in the chat.
Yeah, he was.
But I mean, I know there's people out there asking that. I get asked that question probably twice a week from people.
Adam Jenkins paid $1.99, and I couldn't see what your comment was, brother. But I don't want it to go unnoticed, because despite what Kareem might be saying, we don't do that here unless you're being an ignorant jackass. Martell N49 as a patron, the breakdown of Caleb Williams is elite and TTNL is the standard. Thank you. Bear the fuck down, Martell. I appreciate that. And listen, I'll say this. For anybody that wants to actually think through this with an open mind, because not that Brian's here now. I was going to say it. Just listening to last week's show back, because I normally just never listen to our shows because we talk and I live it. But last week I went and listened back to our show, and it's just some great analysis, some passion and truth that is being spoken. And Brian was talking about the haul is Caleb Williams that you're getting tonight. Shane showed you in an exercise. I know Greg Gabriel said we don't do fucking mock drafts. Yeah, you should, because you got to prepare for any kind of scenario.
Let me ask. I got this question here from our guy Zach. Zach, what are his off-field behaviors that you're worried of? I mean, what do you have that's concrete on that other than hearsay, what you're reading from, Rumorville?
The only thing he's going to point out is the fact that he didn't show up to a press conference after a loss. That's the only thing. And
is that considered off-field?
Yeah, that isn't.
Right.
Are you going to talk about his GQ model shoot?
But that's what I'm saying. I just need concrete evidence of what his off-field. Now, is this Jalen Carter stuff? I mean, you see stuff
where we were the ones talking about it 100 out of 100 days.
I just don't know what the off-field things are other than people making a whole bunch of assumptions.
Does Ryan Poles look like a genius now for passing on Jalen Carter?
After yesterday, if there's a lot of truth to that stuff, hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I take a lot of pride because I'm putting a lot of work into. Do you know what it's like to watch every rep and cut it and watch it 7 times and put it all together, edit it, download it, put it up, then talk about it with Shane and telestrate it so you can see it? Because watching that show with my dad, a Hall of Fame high school head coach here in Connecticut, and Shane, who I've known my whole life, it felt like we were watching a highlight film, and it was just his tape from those games. And it's outrageous to see anybody talk anything about Caleb Williams in regards to his ability to distribute the football. What did my father say over and over again, Shane? Oh my God. His arm is impeccable. The fact that his head is down the field all the time in the mesh, through the mesh, he sees the field. Your quarterback don't do that. But his most impressive thing is his feet. His ability to backpedal, turn, shuffle, slide, turn his shoulders, slide up forward, slide back, know where the rush is, turn, and still keep him in a position to distribute the football. It's not even close. Like mechanics, we don't have to work on anything. What we have to work on is understanding the plays. I don't know what Zach is talking about.
That's what I was going to say.
With the media.
Responses with the media. I don't know what that. Like that's when he specified his interactions with the media. So I was curious to know.
Every person.
That's not
person
off
I've ever
field.
seen.
And that's
on field.
But when you say off field, you're talking about legal issues and
you're manipulating Zach. You have nothing on this kid. He's done nothing wrong except drive a fucking Ferrari or whatever the fuck car he has. What has he done wrong? This world is people are getting out of college football because it's so disorganized with the money and NIL money. Shit's been going down for years since fucking Eric Dickerson and Craig James getting paid. Now the Bears have an opportunity, and I don't care. I'm not here to make friends. As I said, I've lost friends because they love Justin Fields so much that they think that they can't be friends with me because I'm telling my truth. It's not even my truth. It is just the truth. Mic drop moments have been all around this show. If you're listening and paying attention.
So I want to play devil's advocate a little bit, but I'm gonna keep it on the field.
Go ahead.
You guys watch.
Place.
You break down the tape, right? So everyone's constantly hearing you guys talk about how good he is. What areas do you see where Caleb Williams can actually improve?
Oh, 100%. He's got to get better with the ball. He's got the same issue where he can get reckless with the ball. Even in the pocket, he fumbles the ball a lot. That's number one. Number one for me right there. You want to lose ball games for your team? Give the ball away. You can't fumble the football every single game like the guy that we've had in here, Justin Fields. What does he have? 38 career fumbles or 39 career fumbles in 39 games? That's not counting interceptions. To me, that's far and away number one. Well, that's not number one. Number one for me is you don't want to strip him of this. And I think when he's on a better team with a defense, he won't be. Phil, you see it. He plays a lot of hero ball.
That's going to be his number one issue is, but this is the caveat of a situation, Sheree, as Shane is trying to elaborate on, I believe. When we look at Caleb Williams, his defense was atrocious. Let's just be honest. So he's trying to win football games because you know what? I'm just going to throw names. Adam, Johnny, Louie, and fucking Puss Boy, whatever that fucking clown was. And what's his name? Look up his name on the Facebook page. George. Is that his name? There's always a fucking George. Costanza, McCaskey. We could go on and on. What? Cabrera? You're sitting there calling this guy, right? A diva. And you're not recognizing that he's having to carry a football team on his shoulders because the surrounding talent isn't very good. And when I sit there and watch the 2023 tape with all of our patrons, because that's what we did it, and I won't do it for free. I won't throw it out into the universe because there's scumbags and people that don't even have an inkling of appreciation of what it takes to put all of that together, break it down, telestrate it, put your face to it, and show people like this is next level. So Caleb Williams is the cleanest product I've ever seen at quarterback coming out of college. What he has to work on is trying to tone down having to win every game. He's going to have to learn that in the NFL, that he could just distribute it. I think it'll be pretty easy because we don't have to worry about his footwork, Cherie. We don't have to worry about his arm. He will outthrow any quarterback in Chicago, including Cutler. He will outthrow him. He can layer the ball. He can drop a pass in the flat and take all of the heat off the football. He can lob it. He can underhand throw it. He can be anything he wants to be. That's where you're gold. Here's a fun stat from ESPN. Caleb Williams had 10 games this past season where he's responsible for 5 or more touchdowns, Cherie. The only player with more such games in the college football playoff era, you want to make a guess?
Andrew Luck.
Patrick Mahomes.
Hmm.
Pat Mahomes. So when I watch his tape and I look at these things and I see, and my father sees, and Steve Edwards sees, Chris Zorich sees, Shane sees it, Carr sees it, Brian Perez sees it, Matt Waldman sees it. Every person I know is doing real tape study and is not saying Johnny Manziel out there. They're actually watching every rep with no bias. Just watch it. And it's beautiful. And it's like, wow. And I can read the comments from patrons over and over like, wow, I was completely team Justin Fields. You've opened my eyes. Oh my God, this is the best thing I've watched in more than a month. Thanks for the time and effort. Example of him recognizing the corner blitz after he got sacked by the blitz is unbelievable. The quickness, the release, it's over and over. Don't be afraid to be great. Don't be afraid to be great. It's okay if someone's better. It reminds me of those parents that are looking at their kids like they're going to the NFL. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay if someone else is better than your kid. It's okay if someone else is better than Justin Fields for the Chicago Bears. Because in the end, it's only going to help you. Here's another great story, and then we're going to start wrapping up. This is from Max Markham, Shane.
Yeah.
In order for keeping Justin Fields to seem even remotely logical, Fields fans must make the argument that Jordan Love only broke the Bears' TD and passing yards records that stood since 1940 because he was surrounded by unbelievable weapons. His top wide receivers, Chris Jackal, who balled out, as Jackal put it. Jaden Reed was a second-round rookie. He had 793 yards. Romeo Doubs, you remember him? If you're a TTNL patron, you do. Should have been our third pick, not Valus. 674 yards. Dante Wicks. Romeo was picked in the 4th. Dante Wicks, 5th-round pick, 581 yards. This is a QB that couldn't lock on to an elite wide receiver and had to go through his reads, spreading the ball around. Going into the 2023, there's not a single Bears fan in existence who would have said DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, former 1,000-yard wide receiver, or Darnell 1,000 and Cole Kmet were worse weapons than what the Green Bay Packers have. But they're all saying it now. But now that Jordan Love played better with less help on the field, experience, they have to keep passing blame onto anyone except Justin Fields. And that's the problem. And that's why TTNL stands here. And thank you, Max Markham, because that's what I've been saying. Because on the tape, it never lies. Justin Fields has been horrific at times. It frustrates me. It's wide open. It's a pass to the flat where Shane and I are looking. It's a bubble screen. And he has to take an extra second or tick longer. Whereas you watch Caleb, it's snap, throw. Snap at a bad angle, throw it at a bad. And it's dime after dime. Like me, Shane, and my father are cracking up.
the one was just like, we all were just like, wow, it's Zach Adams. He's 100% right. This is a part of the process. It all matters. But if a guy is short with the media or says something stupid or doesn't show up, to me, you just walk to him. You walk up to him. You're going to talk to him about it and just say, that shit's not going to happen anymore. It's that simple. You have a media requirement. You're going to be there for every one of them, or I'm going to fine you. That's the way that it works.
Remember when Justin Fields, Shane? I'm sorry. Remember when Justin Fields said, "You fans don't work all week. We do." And he snapped at the fan, and then the whole tide of fans was against him. I'm old enough to remember that. I don't know if Jackal does, but I do.
Yeah.
But I remember that.
In
He
terms
snapped
of,
at the fan. Remember,
I remember.
Jackal?
Oh, I remember.
But in terms of,
we had to go talk to Justin, recoil it back.
I'm not
afraid of that with Caleb.
If that's the only thing
Exactly.
away from the actual football field that you can bring up, to me, that's pretty awesome for a dude that's under the scrutiny and
Now,
the
what if he comes
limelight
here,
that he
Shane,
is.
and has the greatest personality you've ever seen at quarterback? We've lived through Jay Cutler. He can give a fuck about your question. He didn't show up after that Packer game. I know it bothered Shane for years.
Oh,
he didn't show up. He had to go to his son or Waddle and Sylvie's show. Whatever.
Yeah, every week he had
a commitment.
He didn't show up the one day because his son had
a dentist appointment or
like
something.
a dentist appointment or something like that, and you knew he was full of shit. But that was just Jay. You know, he's getting paid.
Just to say this in you guys' defense, like I know that's what Trump is pointing out, but you guys have always taken the stance that is the one aspect of the draft process that you guys have no insight into is personality evaluation. You guys are saying he is our best option based on the tape. So if it comes down to the GM interviewing him and they feel like maybe personality
100%.
issues, you guys are on board with being like, oh, okay, well, he wasn't a guy. But it's you guys have always stood behind that. So it's a good point to bring up. Yes, if it is a concern, then we can see going another route. But you've always said that. You've never strayed away from that. That if the personality is a problem, then we can look at other options.
100%. Yeah, we don't have the ability to sit down with the kid. And I feel good enough about myself, and I know Phil well enough. If we sat down with him for a while, I think we could figure out who he is and what makes him tick.
I've talked to some people like I love and I know Caleb. And
Albert
it's not
Breer,
a problem.
Albert Breer co-signed for him off the field. Daniel Jeremiah co-signed for him off the field.
This is a dude that gave away his NLI money to kids that are NIL money. What did I say? NLI.
But the funny part about it is, Phil, everybody's like, oh, Kingsbury's going to Washington. Kingsbury's going to Washington. He's going there. But, man, he was such a douchebag at USC. He was horrible. But now Kingsbury wants him in Washington.
Great point, Shane.
There's like I said,
we don't tolerate this cultistic manipulation. Like you put a block that's true, and we're going to put 10 blocks to build you up.
I never said that. Don't put takes from Shane out there that you think. I never said that.
Creighton, that's not the truth. Let's wrap up and get through these super chats. We need like a drop. Angelo maybe can make us a super chat drop. Oh my God, this Kevin Warren interview. Shaking my head. Someone help the dopes with the GM or president's speech.
Well, hello there, everybody.
It's like a fucking leprechaun, dude.
Angelo will be back next week.
Yes.
Making a debut back. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Shane has come up with an amazing way Angelo will debut next week.
What?
We're happy to have the guy back with us.
Sharif, if you hear somebody knock at your door right before the show, just answer it.
Just answer and go live.
Absolutely not. I can sit at my home.
Dan Aguirre is bringing Angelo to your house.
Yes.
Lino from Wallingford, Connecticut.
You do not have guns, right? Just so you're aware.
Yeah.
And I'm entitled to use the Virginia's open carry.
Yeah. GMAV, we don't bring crazy lunatic frauds onto our show.
You guys should bring
take with that as you may.
Oh my God.
The New York
Brown grade.
That's that fraud. Jets.
Don't even entertain it.
Robert Nash, $4.99. It would take
so
Ricky Williams to trade.
Yeah.
To trade the. I totally agree. You can't offer me enough for Caleb Williams, and you'll thank me later for that. Your idea of getting a haul comes with a roll of the dice as well. You try to trade back at 9 if that's what you want to do, but you don't pass on a talent like Caleb Williams. Ben Hooper, $9.99. You put other QBs on the Bears last year, Allen, Herbert, Stroud, Love, Tua, Mahomes. I mean, even Carr or Flacco. Bears probably win 3 or 4 more games. I agree. Sorry. It's the truth on tape. We can go through it this offseason, but it won't even be worth it because you already have Caleb Williams. Fields' inconsistency in the pocket cost the Bears several games because he couldn't find the open man. He either fumbled the ball trying to escape. And really, as Shane has pointed out, there's a huge difference there.
Ricky Williams in a wedding dress. Don't forget about that. It's not driving him.
Don't play him. God damn you. Justin Fields breaks the pocket to escape. We have shown there's no debate that Caleb Williams escapes the pocket to throw and to delay. Thus,
we literally show you. We have 2 chapters of it. And we probably repeat ourselves. Just watch the mesh and watch his head.
Watch the mesh.
What did I say?
Watch
it's like
his head.
It's like it's on a gimbal. Everything is going. There's chaos all around him, and his head never moves.
Looking down,
straight down the field.
My father's like, "You're right. This is the best."
We're breaking down tape, guys. So when we say that there's a comprehensive breakdown of Caleb Williams, we're not showing you TV broadcasts. We're showing you all 22 from every angle. We're not writing things down in note format and calling it a comprehensive breakdown like other people do, which is laughable at best.
It is.
But it's great. I mean, have fucking fun with that.
This guy on the Nintendo making a game could do that. You have
doing a comprehensive breakdown.
Comprehensive
the
breakdown.
Audio version.
He's
completely
that shit in
Braille
right
for
in your
Stevie
face.
Wonder. He'd draft Caleb Williams too.
But as my father said, this guy's time clock and field awareness is beyond anything you can see in college that he's ever seen.
Just Phil, remove everything, and just the release alone is the monstrous separator on the football field.
Right. It's like that when you hear Whitney Houston singing, like if you're into music, there's just a different level that she can bring. That's undeniable for generations and generations. You know, people were playing the Shannon Sharp and somebody else talking shit about Pat Mahomes when all of these guys don't hold themselves accountable. Keyshawn Johnson, kidding me? I'll slam dunk on his head. We'll go right toe to toe with the tape and we can watch it together, Keyshawn. And then you'll come back. What are you going to say about the tape? You can't. He's not watching it. He's just making a story, getting clicks. He's doing the old Mike North contrarian. Let's get clicks. Let's say sound bites. Let's get drum up. I live in the backyard of Bristol. I know several producers. We're going to have a producer from Bristol, former teammate of mine, on the show. He's a Jets fan, but he's going to come on the show. He actually produces for Greeny in that show. What is it called? Jackal? Greeny in the morning? Whatever that is.
You got it. You know what it's called.
He produces there. They're constantly pre-meeting about saying certain things about Chicago because Chicago Bears fans are so passionate. It's going to draw eyes and numbers. The truth.
Yeah. Imagine if we came to you guys and said, you know what? We're breaking down Caleb Williams, and we watched 3 games last year and 3 games this year.
That's worth $7.
But that's what Merrill Hodge did.
I know.
That was his breakdown, and he's railroading the kid. Oh, he's not special.
Anybody watching our breakdown, even if you're a Justin Fields fan,
an NFL GM on record and say, and it's to Zach's point, you can break down Caleb Williams tape in about 3 hours, and that is the easy part. You see that he's gifted. You see that he's an excellent quarterback. It's everything else beyond that you have to sit down and figure out. And that's where we're at now. Brad Biggs came out and said, the Bears are drafting a quarterback number 1. If they stay at number 1, my guess would be it's Caleb Williams, ... as long as he checks out as the person that they want leading this franchise. It's not, if they don't draft Caleb Williams, I'll tell you right now, it's not because of his talent on the field. It's because of something else.
They're drafting Caleb Williams. He would have to be a murderer to not be drafted. I don't care about his personality. I don't care if he thinks it's nails.
The story goes that Saint Valentine became a saint for curing blindness. So instead of spending time with his wife, Dr. Phil, the eye doctor, is running a special tonight on eye appointments for the Bears fans for $7 a month.
That's right. That is right. Ooh. And we're trying to wrap up in
Bear down 1980. $5. It doesn't matter how many wide receiver weapons you give Justin. If he doesn't throw the ball consistently, the wide receivers can't do anything without the ball coming to them. Again, mic drop for me. I've said it 100 times. When we show him on tape in college, and everybody said it to a person, if he was just a little bit quicker processing, just a little bit quicker getting rid of the ball, that was surrounded by first-round talent everywhere. If you're a patron, I went through the list of players that have been drafted that played with Justin Fields at Ohio State in the first, second, and third round. It took me like 5 minutes to get through all the names. He's been surrounded by talent in college, still had the same issues. Is what it is.
Finally on board. TTNL. Advisable, our guy, $9.99. TTNL, y'all are the best. Nobody is even close. Thank you.
That's why Cherie came to TTNL.
That's right.
She was a TTNL groupie. She was always in the chat saying, hey. And I'm like, we got to get this chick on our show, Phil.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a good line. Where did it go?
In Phil's defense, he put me on. You just accepted it.
Thank you, Cherie. At least you say it. Greg Braggs can't even admit he wouldn't even be on the air.
You say his name again, he's going to show up.
Please
no,
don't.
He's not.
Like Beetlejuice.
Jenny neutered him. He's watching a movie.
Oh,
he's probably listening.
Yeah.
Bears Talk, our guy. Follow him, bearstalk.com. Brian Perez. As I said last week, Justin Fields is a summer fling. Caleb Williams is a soulmate. Fields was fun while it lasted. Williams is who you settle down with. It's a great analogy. It really is. Anything negative about Fields on 670 The Score, Swift, and even CHGO will get you placed in a timeout or banned. I hope TTNL will allow Judah Tribe back on because he was ahead of most of the Fields' fall. I don't know who Judah Tribe is.
So hopefully burner account. I don't know.
As long as he can come back, I'm fine. Oh, not that one.
Jesus.
You ass.
It was starred. I'm going through them.
Yeah, I didn't star that.
I didn't star it. Sure he did.
DDP, can you break down on a spreadsheet for the people that need visuals? Probably not my forte. Maybe Jackal can do shit like that. I don't know what you would want me to break down on a spreadsheet. I can't.
I don't know.
All I can do.
Look at the way he threw this slant pass. Holy shit! ... Exclamation point! Wow.
I can't do that for you. Which wide receiver does everyone want?
We went through this.
Yeah,
we did that.
It was early.
Who starred these? Here we go. Rel, $9.90. Don't like
what guarantees are we making?
Is how you guys are making
taking the Bears. That he's taking Caleb number 1. That's how I took that comment when it came out.
Yeah, that's what I feel. What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
If they don't, they've let you down.
I've called my shot lots of times on here. My gut feel, I think if he checks out, I think he's 110% the pick. When they sit down with him, if they're sold out, there's no way they don't like the tape.
I know. It's like
I get so confused because what ultimately people do know that we can't control what the Bears do. This is all based on what you guys feel the Bears should do.
Mm-hmm.
So why does it bother somebody so much?
I think what it is, in this isn't just directed at Rel specifically, but he's up there, so I will address it towards him. My guess here is that Rel wants Justin Fields to be the quarterback of the Bears. So that's why he's miffed about us making guarantees. But if I said, I guarantee Justin's the quarterback next year, Rel will be like, fuck yeah, I'll bunch that $1.99 up to $4.99. Hell yeah, bro. But this is the game of it. You know what I mean? If you hear something that you don't like about a player, you get turned off to everything beyond that. And if Phil and I praise Caleb Williams, the first thing that we're asked from a Justin Fields fan are, well, can you point out his negatives? Yeah, we can. Mm-hmm. We talk about it when we're breaking down the tape. We actually show you where he makes bad plays. But when I ask somebody what's a negative with Justin Fields, very rarely do they say anything other than, oh, the coaching staff sucks. He needs more talent around him. Tony Medlin's fucking short. The fucking pasta chef was late to work.
I'm still waiting for somebody.
McCaskey's old. You know, it's every fucking excuse in the book.
I want a long looked at version of Justin Fields in their eyes where you're talking about it, because it doesn't exist. I can go back and take all the video we did at TTNL and show you all the negatives of Justin Fields, because there's a lot of negatives. Then I'm looking at Caleb Williams and it looks like a fucking highlight reel, but it's its actual tape. So as a scout, you have to understand that you're trying to address NFL versus college. Two different things, clearly. But these assholes that look at, well, who did he play? He plays in the Pac-12. There's no defenses there. They've just threw a broad stroke brush of bullshit. Oregon, Washington, Arizona. These are good defenses. Washington's in the national championship, by the way. Like, they're in the Pac-12. UCLA was a good defense. You can't broad stroke and manipulate shit when you're looking at the tape. You have to understand what Shane was talking about. That's undeniable. It's the quick release, the footwork, the decision making. This is an NFL offense at USC. It's pro offense. It's under the same umbrella as Kyle Shanahan and what they're doing there.
Tony brings up a great point. One other thing that people don't talk about, he's missed time every year. Every single year.
That's true.
It's a big part of it.
And your backup quarterback, undrafted, went in there and won 2 games while you were out. You've won 7 games. He's won 5. He's 8 wins.
Are you trading Justin a second and a third to New England for their? I'm not trading a second and a third with him.
No
to
way.
Move up. No, I'm trading Justin for something. I'm not giving Justin up and a second and a third.
The only thing you could do is say, okay, you want to get back up to 3. And you trade
right. I mean, if
and you're 9 to get to 3.
That's different. But I'm not giving up a 2 and a 3 on top of
this
it.
is a terrible.
I don't have enough of a gap between Neighbors and a Dunze versus Marvin Harrison.
Yazir Ahmed 499 was asking this question. We've all answered no, Yazir.
But I'm not giving up all of that, Phil. We both have Marvin Harrison number 1, but we don't have enough of a gap between you're a Dunze, I'm Neighbors at number 2, but I don't have enough of a gap between 1 and 2 to give up all that.
I saw some guy. You're full of shit. Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
What? It's like someone saying that I said.
We had somebody in the chat room before. They're like, guys, this is easy. You trade down, you take the Hall of Famer, and then you trade down again, and then you take the other guy that's going to be an all-pro, within year 2. Well, what are we saying?
Gonna rub your crystal ball.
Yeah, exactly. Where the fuck is Miss Cleo?
These guys with the Cleo shit. Ben Booper, $1.99. Prayers for Mongo. Steve McMichael,
Absolutely.
Hall of Fame. Did you see the ESPN piece?
Yeah,
outstanding.
Yeah, you can't watch that one without tearing up.
Nope.
That's for damn sure.
I was just gonna say, Shane,
the journey. I've always talked about.
Are you crying, Dad?
There y'all go. Y'all being soft like our future QB.
Yeah, right.
Hey, man.
I cried to my mom.
Yeah, I was wearing a dress and I was painting my fingernails when I watched it, Sherry.
Just working.
My boy Dom.
But
Dom Cagney, $9.99 after the Warren interview and what DJ posted on Instagram. I'm starting to get really worried that they are keeping Fields.
Do you
That's
really
what you want the GMs to think?
You think the Chicago Bears sat around and they're like, you know what? Today's Valentine's Day. I'm feeling the fucking love. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out there and talk publicly and blow our fucking leverage completely for the most important offseason we've ever had.
Franchises,
guys, they're playing the fucking game. They should
poker,
be played.
Man.
Yep.
Brad Biggs came out and said that Justin Fields' time in Chicago is over. The Bears are drafting a quarterback at number 1. Now, to me, that points to if Caleb checks out when they sit down and meet with him and his team. If he checks out, that Caleb Williams will be drafted number 1. That's the way that I look at it. Then Kevin Warren sits down with Jarrett Payton, who obviously has an obvious connection to the Chicago Bears, and praises Justin Fields as he should. He's never going to come out and say, Justin needs to be better. Justin needs to work on this and this and this and totally tank his trade value. He should be praising everybody. And then Ian Rappaport comes out and said it's going to take a historical haul. It's going to take premium picks to acquire Justin Fields. So they're playing both ends of this because they know that we're a rabid fan base. We're all going to melt down about it. CHGO and Greg Braggs are going to melt down about it. Every podcast about the Bears are going to melt down about it.
Having a town hall.
The Score is having a 3-hour town hall on a Wednesday night. Bad fucking move by them. Wrong night, but sorry about your viewership. But anyways, they're playing the game, guys. And let's not forget this. Maybe Dom, maybe you missed this. This is from the owner of the Chicago Bears. Ryan Poles remains in charge of our football operations with complete authority to do what he thinks is best for the Bears. Owner George McCaskey said Tuesday when the team announced Warren's hiring. This is not a Kevin Warren call. If Ryan Poles said, I'm sold on this guy, Caleb Williams is my quarterback, and let's just remove Caleb Williams. If Ryan Poles comes out and says, Drake May is my guy, I'm sold on him. Jaden Daniels is my guy, I'm sold on him. JJ McCarthy is my guy, I'm sold on him. Guess who the quarterback's going to be? whoever Ryan Poles wants. He's going to take input from Kevin Warren. Kevin Warren's not making the pick. The owner of this franchise told you that in print the absolute day. Full authority for the football operations, Ryan Poles.
At the end of the day, he's going to be the guy. I also wanted a couple other things that I made mental notes to say, with these blog boys and scouting reports that are thorough, Shane, in writing.
Pretty
When you look at Caleb Williams, I look at a quarterback that was pulled out of the game at halftime against Stanford, I believe. And he had thrown 18 of 21, 3 touchdowns and 281 or 291 yards. Could have brought him back in the second half like Chip Kelly or, Brian Kelly down at LSU. Keep padding these motherfucking stats. They didn't. Took him out, let the backup play in the second half. Could have padded his stats. He's 18 of 21 through 3 touchdowns in the first half. Then he plays Nevada. He throws 5 touchdowns, right? They take him out of the game. They don't pad his stats in that game. So when you're looking at these stats, the 3,600, whatever, 5 interceptions and 30 plus touchdowns, and they're saying that's a bad year. I'm watching the tape and it's unreal how good he is. So all of the stats, all of the tape are starting to combine and mix, and that formula is a winning one. And I don't care. Only way that he gets out of being the number 1 pick is if he has a murder in his life. Other than that, he could be the biggest dick. He can cry. He could paint his nail. You're taking him.
If he comes across like a brash asshole,
even if he's a brash asshole, he's on my team.
If they're not sold on him,
need a leader of men, man.
He will.
They're not sold on him as the person.
I'm just saying he's not that. So it doesn't even have to be a conversation. I've talked,
but I'm just saying it's not going to take murder. They're going to be able to sit down with him, and if they don't believe in the person, they're not going to draft him. Just telling you.
Well, I'm just saying he's going to be a Chicago Bear. That's it. It's there. Guys, I think Justin also gets nut shrinkage in the fourth quarter. It's true.
Yeah.
When the playoff atmosphere Green Bay game and the season begin the season, we called it.
It was hot that game, and at the end of the year, it was cold. So it was cold. So and the grass. Sometimes the grass isn't cut.
Doesn't grow as long in the winter.
Those Green Bay games, those are like playoffs for a team that hasn't been.
It was also windy. It was windy.
Windy?
So, yeah.
Okay.
It was windy.
Those games he hasn't played well. Yeah. On top of that, in the fourth quarter, it's very important that I see you be instrumental in the drive. Now, Washington, where Mooney dropped the ball at the goal line, he's driving down there. That was one series I felt like, he was leading you to win. Other than that, I really struggle to see him make critical moment plays that are tide changing in a game. And in a team sport, I want to see that. I want to see the quarterback rise and have everyone rise around them. That's the job. There's no other example for you to check than Patrick Mahomes this past season. Brian Perez, when the Bears traded a number of picks to the Panthers last year, it was the earliest that the top pick was traded, March 10th, since 1978.
And we went live.
They were all in on Fields, and we knew it. Not the case in 24. It's just not.
Creighton
13 trades at the number 1 pick in the NFL.
1999. Love you guys, and Shane, I love messing with you since last draft. You guys are the best. And May is Drake Cutler. I'm sticking with that.
Yep.
You can bust me up if I'm wrong.
Time will tell. Creighton.
Love TTNL. Thank you, Creighton.
Here's Taj Washington, who Shane drafted.
I did.
a phenomenal player, as we all know, but even better person. You don't have to say like.
Yeah, and what did Brendan Rice say? Have fun losing your job if you don't draft him.
You think he's a bad person?
Oh, but
I'm
DJ Moore wants Justin, Phil, so that matters. But the USC teammates,
I talked to a coach that coached.
Right? They're sticking up for their guy.
Spoke to a coach. I promised I wouldn't say who. I did tell people I shouldn't have. I regret that. Who coaches Caleb? And all he had to say was Chicago would be lucky to have this kind of football player for them. He's a leader of men, and his biggest driving force is the one you want. What do you think it is? Forget he's got all the talent.
Phil,
he hates to fucking lose, Phil.
All of this negativity that's created around him by outside sources, people that don't know him, by fans, by people on Twitter, by radio hosts in other cities. All of this toxic stuff is created, and the entire time. What have you heard from Caleb?
Nothing.
What have you heard from his camp?
Nothing. You heard shut the fuck up, Colin
Right,
Cowherd.
yeah, we don't want to
ever
be painted as
anti-Chicago. We don't want to be painted
Mm-hmm.
anti-Chicago. We already got these dumbass fans doing it for us. Bird, USC, D. Lyman on William. Caleb is a dude. I mean, he is one of us. The guys, like if Caleb didn't have his face, so to speak, you wouldn't. The difference between Caleb and another guy, he's one of us. These are his teammates. I talked to one of his teammates in the past too. He said the same thing. So yeah, EJ, I don't care if it's Aaron Rodgers' personality. I don't give a fuck what Shane or anybody in the fucking room. I want the talent.
No, I'm not saying that. I 100%.
He'll grow.
Agree
He's a kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying if he came into the situation and he's just like, fuck this. I don't want
He can turn off the Bears.
Oh, listen, I'm telling you.
Turn off the Bears.
Dude, it can, Phil. You can't talk about foods, dude. They're human beings, man. You gotta be. There's a human element.
Telling you,
it's part of it. Tape is tape. You can't deny it. But there's human beings.
John Elway turned off the fucking Colts and they drafted him and traded him. You have to fucking
Phil,
be
we're
smart.
talking about
giving a hypothetical.
Wild, you're making absolute.
We're talking about wild extremes.
Yes.
We're saying that if he comes off and turns off the front office, that they may move on from him, and you're saying, well, no, it's going to take murder. I mean, what one sounds more ridiculous?
I believe it would have to take some serious drug,
still a business.
Johnny Manziel type. It's not going to happen. But I'm saying,
I don't think it's going to happen either, Phil. I'm just saying he's going to have to sit down and have a rapport with Ryan Pace. And if you're tying your career on this decision. You are.
Brian Perez and I are telling you he's the opposite of that. So all you're doing is feeding the chicken nugget heads that are like, you gotta know his personality.
It's not true at all, dude. That's not true at all.
That's how they take it. I'm saying you have to be careful.
You're running a multi-billion-dollar business, dude. You're taking everything into consideration.
Oh, now Jackal's talking. The business side. Guess what?
Dude.
What trumps the business side?
If they win, you're going to make money.
The talent is the number one job to get you in, right? You don't. He's a nice guy. Everybody loves him.
He's not marketable. And he's not a guy that are people going to go out there and want to go
Dr. Pepper commercials.
That's great. But historically, when it comes to the Bears, have they always did what was like that? Like that's where my frustration is. I don't trust the organization. It's not that I don't.
Organization, Cherie, has always taken these prissy coaches.
That's
right?
what they're saying. While you're saying it's absolute, this is a done deal. What they're saying is when it comes to the Bears making the decision, you don't know what they may look at when it comes to interviewing him.
I think it's extremely unlikely he's going to come in.
I think he's
with a sit down and be a brash asshole.
I agree with Sherry to be up. Jackal, not at all.
It's
just the first time he takes a stand.
Cherie.
If they don't like him, Cherie.
Oh gosh. But that's all they're saying is that when it comes to the Bears, we can as much
We
as we
all
know
want
what
Caleb
the
Williams to be a Bear for one reason and one reason only, because we want to see how Phil's going to react at rookie mini camp when he walks out there with a fucking visor on.
Oh yeah,
that's what we want to see.
I hate this is
that's a nice
what if he
visor.
demands he has to wear a visor?
As long as he doesn't come out pre-game warm-up with a fucking reflective visor that you can't win in. I gotta do that. No, he won't. He will just wear a clear visor and he'll be the first Super Bowl winner.
I'm putting 10K down on it. The way that I think
Super
this
Bowl
is going to
winner
work
with
out.
a visor.
I'm pushing it all in, and I think that Caleb Williams will be drafted number 1 by the Bears.
Yeah.
They will be sold on him. So, like, I think everybody has valid.
Please.
Oh yeah.
I just know this trolling thing. You've already. I already see it in the chat. They're not going to take him if they don't like him. I'm telling you, the kid is so likable. He's such a good human being.
I would like you to make your own opinion. Like it's everybody, you want to take your own opinion, right? Like we're not going to be afforded that opportunity, which I understand. It'd be
I
nice
wish
I know.
I've talked to people enough that I trust.
Yeah, I get it. But I just think there's
the visor is not going to be. I've already seen this guy's throwing mechanics. The real issue with Justin Fields is his ability to process is already slow.
I love all.
So that was always an issue with me. And somebody said a great thing, and then we'll wrap up. Jesus. Maron. Shane did a great thing as well. He went through the exercise in our patrons and he said, okay, let's do this. And he went down the list of teams versus their quarterback. Would they want Caleb Williams or this guy, their quarterback? And it was like 27 out of 32 teams would take Caleb Williams. And here we are with these Bears fans. I've dropped how much knowledge, how much film, and you're still debating.
I can do it in 30 seconds here. Do you think Washington would take Caleb Williams? Yes. You think New England would take Caleb Williams? Yes. You think Arizona would take Caleb Williams? Even with the money? Probably yes. I would say San Diego would stay with Herbert. The Giants would take Caleb Williams. The Titans would take Caleb Williams. Falcons would take Caleb Williams. Seahawks would take Caleb Williams. Jets would take Caleb Williams, even with Aaron Rodgers. He's 41. Minnesota would take Caleb Williams.
Here
Denver,
we go.
Williams. Vegas, Williams. New Orleans, Williams. You get to Indy.
That's what I'm saying.
15. They took Richardson last year.
EJ.
So they wouldn't.
You're better than this. I love EJ. Like, you see this exercise, the 225 passing, Shane doing this.
It's good.
It's so easy.
But we're not even done yet. Pittsburgh, they would draft
Giants would bullets. They
Caleb
would fucking
Williams.
take them and fucking.
Oh my God, the Giants would run to the fucking
It's
podium.
no different, Brian, right? Than what Arizona did
Rams.
with Seth. What's his name? Josh Rosen.
We're still going. The Rams would take Caleb Williams. The Bengals
Over
would
Stafford.
stay with
They
Burrow.
would take him.
I think that there's a pathway that the Miami Dolphins would take Caleb Williams. I'm just being honest.
I agree.
Philadelphia. There was a guy today that talked about people in the organization being upset about the deal that they've given. Let's just say that Philly will keep Jalen Hurts. Let's move on. CJ Stroud. Yeah, would Dallas draft Caleb over Dak? I think it's on the table. I don't think it's crazy.
Wow.
Green Bay versus Jordan Love? Probably not. Would it be a debate? I think so. Tampa Bay, they're taking Caleb Williams. Buffalo would stay with Josh Allen. Baltimore would stay with Lamar Jackson. San Francisco, would they take Caleb Williams over Brock Purdy? I think it would be a definite debate there in San Francisco. And then you got Kansas City. And then obviously everybody knows that answer. But it's a very short list.
I'm sorry.
And I know what's a comment you were talking about, Phil. I was trying to find it. The guy said something like, for 31 other teams, it's an easy decision. Why, as Bears fans, are we debating it? I'm trying to find it, but
I'm sorry. Any team with Justin Fields on it would take Caleb Williams. I'm sorry. EJ. It's just the truth. It's coming from me.
But how many of those teams are going to trade for Justin Fields?
Who's trading for Fields? That's going to be the huge story. It's up there. It's up there every day. It was the second most that's capped right here. Super Bowl and Bears. They're like tied.
But I'm just saying, it's. Listen, you can get the haul. You can. Let's just say you get 3 first-rounders to go down one spot, and then you draft Drake May, and it doesn't mean that everything's fixed. It doesn't.
It doesn't. And let me say this.
We took Kevin White and thought that our wide receiver 1 was fixed for the next 10 years. You got to take the best quarterback.
You know what this
prospect.
is, Bears fans? Do this, as Shane is saying. It's like a guy winning $1 million, right? And buying another $1 million of lottery tickets.
We do have this.
That's the dumbest thing you could possibly do, right?
Two-way says he'd take Caleb even if he wore 2 visors, Phil.
I would too.
On free chai.
You have the $1 million. You don't now buy $1 million worth of lottery tickets to see if you can win. That's the haul is a facade.
The haul
is bullshit.
The generational label, EJ, is I give 2 shits about that's a media made fucking label. I give 2 fucks about it.
I'll say this. He's the best quarterback I've ever seen. So I don't know what that is in your generational terms, but he's better than Justin Fields can dream of being. How about that, EJ? That's the truth.
But let me ask you this. So EJ, you can put your comment. Do you think that Shane Waldron and the Thomas Brown and these guys that came here, do you think that they said to themselves, you know what? We're going to tie our wagons to Justin Fields, because guess what? If Justin Fields doesn't perform next year, everybody's gone.
Yep.
So it's a 1-year deal. If he doesn't work out, everybody's gone. Or they said, these guys are probably taking Caleb Williams, and we're going to have like a 3-year window minimally in Chicago.
Brian keeps hammering Homer. He keeps hitting out home runs.
Do you think Thomas Brown and Shane Waldron are coming here
win many games
on a
Justin Fields
on a 1-year thing, saying, "Oh, Justin's going to figure it out"? No,
I've said this before. The only way you keep Justin Fields is if you hire Jim Harbaugh, because he would have the understanding of how to build an offensive scheme to his skill set. Other than that, I never will stay with Justin Fields. He's not. I'm sorry. It's what I studied all the time. It's like frustrating watching it.
But I just don't understand why people take it so fucking personal. If somebody wants Caleb Williams over it's like, oh, you motherfucker, I mean, Twitter is absolutely.
I think Ceiling fan
hilarious.
Is right too. It's like everybody if he's not the greatest of all, he won't be worth drafting. He's immediately, and Brian, you could say it from your eyes there in the chat. He's immediately better than Justin.
He's a more progressed passer day one.
It's not even close.
EJ, you're a patron. Go watch the breakdowns. We've done 2 chapters of them.
Go watch the breakdowns. Don't be biased. Just be like, shit. It's right. There's no CGI creating this.
And guess what? If we draft Caleb Williams, I just showed you guys. We did a live mock on air. I built the team, and I drafted Caleb Williams number 1. And guess what? I also got you a 2025 first-round pick out of the deal by trading down at number 9. You can still build the team. It's just this. Everybody it goes back to Jay Cutler. And I'm not.
I got to correct you because you are a newsbreaker late. We did an hour and a half of mock drafts. Sorry, bro. You got it. I'm sorry.
This is the thing.
Pay attention.
They're gonna. He's gonna figure it out. The talents that he's gonna figure it out. The talents.
He's gonna figure it out. We just got to surround him with 3 more new guards, and then 2025 we get back. It's dumb. It's the players in that video. It's like haunted. Last week it was that 225. that you broke down, Shane, that haunted my brain.
Yeah.
Then yesterday at the Patreon, when you listed all the teams that would draft Caleb versus, and then today it's DJ Moore and the two St. Brown brothers talk about Darnell Mooney and giggling about how many times Justin Fields can't hit the open man in Darnell Mooney. You want real truths? Watch that video again. Because a guy at a podium standing asked a question that he knows he's on TV or radio about his teammate. It's not going to say, nah, that motherfucker can't throw for shit. We got to move. It ain't happening. They're professionals. But in an open forum with their buddies, you get a glimpse. Like when players come on this show, just ask Raymond Harris.
But
He's like, I went on the show and I'm not trying to swear, and all of a sudden you guys got me motherfucking swearing.
Do you think that if the Bears draft Caleb Williams, the people that are pro Justin are going to say when he throws an interception or he has a 3 interception game or he loses a game, do you think they're going to say, well, you know what Caleb needs? He needs more weapons like they're doing for Justin?
No.
But they're going to compare year 1
to year 3
of Caleb Williams to year 7 of Patrick Mahomes. That's what they're going to do. Oh, y'all said he's Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry. Everybody said you're comparing him to Patrick Mahomes. It's so out of this fucking realm.
I've been around the game a long time, and all I can go is by that. My understanding of this game of football, I put on video and tape every week for this network. My rants after games have been mostly surrounded by Justin Fields and Matt Eberflus and Luke Getsy. Luke Getsy is gone. Matt Eberflus stayed. Just guess what? Caleb Williams has a shitty line at USC, and he's fighting through it and making plays down the football field. It's not going to be excuse making. T-minus 9 weeks and a wake up, and we will all hear with the first round pick, Chicago Bears take Caleb Williams. Phenom, USC. Take it to the bank. We're talking about Justin Fields. I took that as a Getsy. Were they talking about Justin Fields or they took that as a Getsy? I don't know what he meant. But anyway,
again, EJ, it's absolutely true. But are you going to sit here and tell me that happened every down? That he had immediate pressure, or are you just trying to prove a point? Because we've literally showed it on tape. Yeah, there's been breakdowns of the offensive line, 100%. But you can't tell me that it's been every single down.
Guess what? Go watch the Super Bowl and watch Patrick Mahomes deal with the breakdown every down. It's true. It's right there.
Watch how many bad snaps.
Snaps were bad. Same shit.
There was some bad snaps.
And you got to step through that stuff. It's year 3. There's 39 games under his belt. Stop. Caleb Williams is the answer. My guy, Wayne Bender, checking in late. Fields has had 38 starts in the NFL and has so minimal improvement in the passing game. The whole debate is so ridiculous. Bears fans just love mediocrity. No, just say some Bears fans.
I don't think they love it. I just think it's
some Bears fans. Some Bears fans are afraid of change. They're scared.
Because you hear that. So, well, what if he goes? What if Justin Fields goes?
Yeah.
He's
Who cares?
There. Why do you care? He's
good. Who cares? If he's
for him.
successful, great.
Let me ask you this.
Maybe they got it right.
Maybe you haven't heard me ask this, but when we broke down Justin Fields the year that he was coming out in the draft, we had all the same issues. We were all excited and hoping to figure everything out because where we were coming from quarterback wise. But let me ask you this. The same flaws that he had at Ohio State are the same flaws that he has right now today in terms of speeding up his process, of not anticipating throws. There's some anticipatory throws in his arsenal. Not many. He's not consistent at it. He's a see it, throw it guy, just like Jay Cutler was. That was Jay's thing because he believed in his arm enough. But answer me this. He was surrounded by first-round picks at wide receiver at Ohio State. He was surrounded by first-round picks on the offensive line at Ohio State. He was surrounded by first-round picks on defense at Ohio State. Elite talent everywhere. But yet, the flaws that he had there are still present today. And I know everybody wants to blame every single coach for it. And I am not a Matt Eberflus fan. I'm not a Matt Nagy fan. I'm not a Luke Getsy fan. I understand all that. But the problem is when you're blaming everything on everybody but Justin, the passes, he had players drop passes. They were wide open. Who drew up that play to get the wide receiver wide open? Who drew it up?
Luke Getsy.
The OC did.
Yes.
Right?
And there's plenty of plays.
Who threw the ball out of bounds when you had a guy wide open? It works both ways, guys. And the timing is a big part of this because you have to make up your mind on the fifth-year option. And EJ, let me ask you this. Would you rather have Justin Fields at 4 years, $160 million and $100 million guaranteed? Because that's what the deal is going to be. And I don't want to hear that you don't have to pay him right now because look at who his agent is and he's getting paid. If you stick with Justin Fields beyond this draft, he's getting a contract extension. Done deal. He's getting extended. So would you want Justin at 4 and 160 with $100 million guaranteed? Or would you rather see where you can go with Caleb Williams, who's a better passer day one, 4 years, $38 million guaranteed? It's not even close. It's not close. And you can say the haul. They're gonna get the haul. You got to get quarterback right, or it doesn't matter.
Foremost. And those fans that are going to root against Caleb Williams when he's a Bear, you're not Bears fans. You're just not. And that's the problem. There's such a divide that we're trying to educate you. You have to put the back end, what Shane just talked about,
you can't
into
say
play.
that Justin doesn't need to be paid right now. Because if you decide to stay with him
and
his
pass
agent,
on a
he's
generational
paid.
talent,
he's getting paid.
If
and
you
guess
pass
what?
on another
He
quarterback,
won't even accept the Daniel Jones deal.
Exactly.
I'll tell you that right now. Daniel Jones went for 4 and 160 and $92 million guaranteed. Justin Fields ain't signing for that. Mulatto will not let him sign that deal. Mark it down.
And Getsy did get rehired. And I'm just telling you what Shane said. Justin missed a lot of opportunities out there. And the play caller, situationally, I didn't like the guy. Formation-wise, I felt like he completely gave away what he was doing. But the plays were there to be made. The excuses are given all the time. It's just ridiculous. You don't win the lottery and then turn around with the $1 million and buy 1 million more lottery tickets to try to win. You got the winning hand right in your hand right now. And you've passed on Patrick Mahomes. And say what you want about Deshaun Watson, despite the massages and all that, but he was trending way up when he first started. Let's just be honest there. So you passed on those two guys. You passed on CJ Stroud. And I obviously love Bryce Young.
Give me some fucking names. Give this.
And now you can't pass on Caleb Williams. You have to get this quarterback right. Justin Fields is average to below. And that's just the truth. There's the inconsistency pushes him there, to be clear. The athletic ability is undeniable, but the style of play, as Steve Edwards has said, I was stealing from you, Steve, if you're watching, it won't last. It don't last in the NFL. Got to win from the pocket, bro. Right on, Shane. Simple question. Would you pay Justin Fields right now with what you've seen? Are you paying him today? I am nowhere near that. Shane is not. Jackal might. I don't know. Not next year, not in 2 years. Right now. If you hesitate, it's Caleb Williams. And Amy, Caleb won the Heisman the year before. So
that's a good place to
there's
wrap
one
up.
last super chat, so I don't want to skip.
Go to bed.
Phil, I thought DJ and St. Brown brothers were throwing shade at Getsy, not Justin.
How are they throwing shade at Getsy when they were talking about him being wide open?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were definitely throwing shade at Justin Fields.
Appreciate it though, Don.
I mean,
another one. Mo's back, Shane. What up, Mo?
What's up, Mo?
Happy Valentine's Day, Cherie from Corn Planter.
Corn Planter, the man.
I did call Cherie Sherry.
You did.
Didn't I?
You do it about once a month.
It
doesn't
slips out every now and then.
Yeah.
I'm not good with names.
All right.
We know people want a segment and you just read names.
Yeah.
Bears talk. Going to break down Brock Bowers. I'm gonna be cutting Drake May tape, Shane, tomorrow. Getting him ready. I don't have to cut any tape for our next chapter, which will be this weekend. We will take a look, depending on Shane's schedule, at Caleb Williams versus Notre Dame. It'll be for patrons only. Again, looking at the tape, the coach's tape, watching the game. And this is another check in the box for me as a scout, as a coach. Caleb Williams' performance in the second half shows a guy that doesn't quit. Spoiler alert. It's a check in the box. A lot of guys fold when they have 3 interceptions. Not Caleb.
We do have a preview real quick to
you
air
have
for
Cars
everybody.
Keys Thursday?
No, we don't. But we have a preview of your
we have
chapter
some.
3 of right here.
Well, hello there, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. Today is February 14th, 2024. You thought I was gone, but I came back just to say hello on this special day. I love and I miss all the beautiful women that we used to dance with at the R Bar nightclub. My God, if only we can bring those days back. We might have to.
Come on, Shane.